That was a really good episode of Invincible.
Alright, I'm gonna...
But Ash.
About what? Okay, hold on. First of all, spell ornithological right now.
ORTHONOLOICAL.
Nerd! Have to wait. Oh.
Spoilers.
Ah.
He's being polite and kind to viewers.
The viewers are smelly.
Goddamn right.
So at work today, I had talk to me about.
I see.
Now, was it a Buster Blader deck or a Dark Paladin deck? Not as cool.
I mean, I know Buster Blader. That kid talking me out.
Damn, they got sent to the Shadow Realm.
What happened to Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge? Oh, hell no. I always like hearing that he's doing.
Nice.
Tell us to be nice, and then you drop that on us. You know you're gonna react to it.
Can't believe Cad would say something so vulgar and terrible like that.
One of these days, Cad's gonna bleed.
I just said he was going to
Then
take
Cad
a
will be
picture of his
canceled.
ass.
That's already been canceled. I can't say what because it's so horrible.
Oh, well, you know they can hear me, right? They actually
Yes,
can.
they can.
Because I unmuted just for transparency. You can't gaslight them anymore, Bob.
Stop trying to gaslight me, Cad.
Gaslighting isn't a real thing, Bob. You made it up.
Gaslighting's not a thing.
Chat won't believe all the terrible things you've said about them.
I know. I can't believe Cad's saying how awful.
Terrible.
He especially hates that Bob guy.
It's true.
Cad, how could you say that? Oh my god,
it's
you
absolutely
monster.
True. All of it. Okay,
You guys
I'm gonna hop up.
believe what Cad is saying?
Okay, Cad.
The good parts, the bad parts, the parts that are completely made up. All of it.
Again! Hello, everyone. See, sometimes they like to gaslight me, and they like to pretend. And when I say pretend, I mean like they like to like claim that I'm making these terrible comments. But chat, you know I would never make terrible comments. You know. All right, so apparently my food got delivered super late. So chat, we're going to start off tonight's stream over here. Behold, a lack of CAD. Okay, that's a little weird. Give me 1 second. Huzzah. There we go. Now chat can't see through the fabric of time. There. Are you happy, chat? Actually, that looks like that's fuzzy again, so we can configure that. Sure enough. Increase my sharpness, my saturation just a tad, and there we go. Okay. Behold Dark Child or whatever that ult is saying. Yes, exactly. How was chat doing today? Like I said, I got my food late, so I gotta eat here with you guys. I did get the tweet out. Do me the favor, go give that some love. I have some chicken parmesan. It's pretty good. Apparently don't have anything to drink. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I apparently left my stuff in the other room. You got the parm? Yes. I like this theme. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's the Seymour theme from Final Fantasy X. Well, one of the Seymour themes. Talent of Sickness. He may buff? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. Two inches of snow? Yeah, I heard some people up north are getting snow. As far as I can tell, like, we're not gonna get the cold front down here, though, so I guess, like, good to be me, right? Like, at this point, our winter is almost over. Hello, Red Eye. How's it going? And hello, Yugi. Must mean it's almost hurricane season again. Why would you say that? Why would you say? So chat. Also, I don't know if you guys had seen, but we did get. Actually, where's Aurelia on this? There she is, hiding. Here, let me move myself over. There we go. That's what you guys are actually here to see. It's not me. It's not streamer man. It's the hot waifu. Cold fronts are like kryptonite for Florida man. Indeed. Managed to force a full reboot. I see. I'm glad you didn't lose anything. I mean, I think that's your warning sign too. Like, make sure that your transfer code's like written down somewhere. McCad Puxtani Phil saw his shadow, so we're getting more weeks of winter. 66 more? No, I'm good. Like I said, it probably won't make it down to Florida. Honestly, I'd be happy if it did. It would keep Florida cool, right? Actually, I don't know if the YouTube is showing up on this. Like, I know Twitch is, but I don't know if YouTube chat's showing up on the screen. Yeah, I haven't even looked at the CQ. Yo, nice. Congrats, Red. That's always good. Hello, Mega. Yeah, so YouTube chat's definitely not showing up on the screen. I have no idea why. Using multiple characters camoing into other Valentines? Yeah, I think it's a good thing. right? Like it gives more depth to the story, but it also means the Valentine scenes are way longer. Like compared to like Artoria's original Valentines, where it's like literally one screen and she hands you a chocolate and is like, "Here, this is for you, master. Thank you. Thanks for always taking care of me." And like that's basically all she says. Like, yeah, I mean they've gotten a little bit more elaborate, right? I had a 3-turn CQ and did in like 8 or 9. I don't even remember what the CQ for NA is. My ADHD can't handle the codes. Yeah, I'm the same way. Abandoned. Like, I just really don't want to have to like transfer in between. So it's like that's why I was so excited with the whatchamacallit, with the survey that we did, where they actually like went through and like asked about PC, because it was like, oh thank God, right? Like it's good to see them acknowledge PC, because that means that that's something that they're thinking about. Tufu and Greenfields was very fun. So chat, what were your favorite Valentines that you've done so far? Keeps drawing 4 cards for coin. Oh, that's bad luck, Berrigan. I mean, just keep doing it. It'll stop happening, because like that's only happened to me like once or twice so far. Shufu and Don Quixote. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder how many people even have DQ. I feel like a lot of people probably didn't roll for Don Quixote because of his banner. EOS was good. Nice. And Cuckoo so far? Yeah. Tez and Cuckoos are both interesting. Tez is probably really freaking weird. I don't know if I remember Tez's at all. You need to have Tez and Cuckoo to get the joke? Well, I do. In chat, today we got... So I was actually talking to Okaist, and Okaist is going to help me with the YouTube from now on. So the first video that Okaist really like produced mostly by himself is the one that got released today. That's the Semiramis buff video. And we're going to be trying to do more consistent uploads to YouTube. Oozes phrasing and I need an adult. Yeah. Daito, thank you for the follow. Welcome. I'm sorry. We'll get started with FGO here in a minute. I am just, again, eating on stream. You guys can't really see it, but... I mean, again, it's chicken parmesan. It's really good. But my delivery just came late, and I still have to eat, but I didn't want to delay stream, so it was like... This was the nice in-between I figured for. Enchiladas. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, Cal, I've been having to, like I sat down and I stored a bunch in my second archive. Because I knew, I did this like 2 days ago, but I was like, I knew I'm going to need some more space because I was like full up on NA. And I was like, I got all these Valentine Cs. I'm gonna need room for them. I'm gonna try to make them into CE bombs, but I was like, man, I gotta have it. Those old Valentine's events are really sad. The events or the actual like scenes. Scenes, yeah. I mean, the events were too. But yeah, the scenes are just really like basic and straightforward, which honestly, to a degree, like it's nice because I know like people want like their favorite unit to have like an amazing Valentine's, but some of them just really drag on. Happy Singles Awareness Day. Yep. Yeah, I was talking to some women, but nobody is really my cup of tea right now. It's sad too because I had a woman the other day that was like into video gaming, and then she just like didn't text me back at all, and I was like, "All right, it is what it is." Like, I'm not gonna be that guy that sits there and is like, "Hello, hello, hello, hello," because that's just annoying and desperate. Cinderella for how friggin' awesome she is. Yeah. Use vodka sauce instead of just red. Vodka and a tomato-based sauce can actually be pretty good. I do agree with that. Like, it's kind of wild. Cad, can you be our Valentine? Sure. Although I expect that you guys are going to take me out someplace nice to eat. And, like, you know, pay for some expensive wine and maybe, like, the dessert. And then, like, you know, maybe then I'll put out. Maybe. Probably too busy playing video games to text back. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but it's like, so she actually reached out to me first, and then I answered her question, I asked her a question, she never got back to me, so I was like, oh, okay, guess not. It's Valentine's Day? Yes. Hello, ACH, how's it going? Got it, Olive Garden dumpsters? You're the goat? Thank you, Daito. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. We're taking you door farming? I don't need QP. What's a girl gotta do to get some serious, like, grails around here? Chat, you know the saying. If she gets your pee-pee up, give her the cup. Okay? Got some paper clips and a Subway coupon. Take it or leave it. I think like the biggest thing for me, like dating nowadays, is like the fact that like the women expect you to like plan all the dates and everything, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, that's always kind of been a thing, but that's always like the hardest thing for me. I don't have a hard time like approaching women or talking to them. I have a hard time like, you're supposed to come up with a fun date to impress me, and I'm like, bro, what? Like I'll take you out to eat. I'll take you to a movie or something if you want. Like I don't really care. Because for me, it's just about spending time with the person. And it's like, I guess that maybe makes them think that, like, I don't care about them. But it's like, no, I do. It's like, the other stuff isn't important. It's trivial to me. The thing that's actually important is spending the quality time. We'd all go down together. Yeah. What are we banging? Some muck. don't know girls, but I do know grills. I see. Chat, what's your favorite grill? What's your type? We doing charcoal or propane? Flat top natural gas, I see. Gas is so much faster and easier. Yeah, but then it doesn't get that like charcoal flavor, right? Like campfire with seasoned logs. I was gonna say technically like you get some like wood chips and stuff in there, or you get like, yourself like a smoker and put some like wood chips in there. Oh man, that shit's good. Using wood pellets, yeah. Yeah, charcoal isn't fast, but charcoal has the flavor, chat. Although you can't get like the shitty cheap charcoal. You got to get like good quality charcoal. Now give her another one soon. I mean, I hate to say it, Osakabehime had so many buffs, I doubt she's getting another one anytime soon. All right, chat, I ate all my vegetables except one. I think I'm fine, right? Like, I don't think my parents would chastise me for not eating every single vegetable. Where'd my lid to this go? There it is. I was eating some chicken parm that I ordered, but I guess like maybe people are like I can't think of why, but maybe the restaurants are kind of swamped tonight. And so like, it took them a while to deliver it. Will they finally give MHXA a buff on skill 3 and give her battery? Will you review it? Bro, if they gave MHXA battery, I'd be like a pig in mud, okay? Like I would be just living high at that point. They don't need to do it, but if they did it, oh my god, that unit is broken. Okay. Let me get this plugged in, chat. We'll get started. La, 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 la. No idea why they'd be busy tonight. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, it's not like there's anything going on. Like I said, I did get the tweet out though, so do me a favor, go get that some love. Let me grab you guys today's sauce that I apparently didn't put in here. Kat, do you think Miss Crane can find a place in team comp soons? Well, like what do you mean? Like, because you can use Miss Crane in like challenge stuff, but it's very difficult to use Miss Crane in any sort of like actual farming. And the reason why is because you have to actually know what you're doing with regards to damage, and that's somewhat of a like difficult thing. Because what you need is you need Miss Crane to not. Sorry, you need your DPS to not kill, but then also simultaneously Miss Crane to get off her NP. And then simultaneously a third unit or the first unit again to kill and finish off the enemy. So it's really a rough thing, and it's kind of difficult to plan around in a normal farming node, as opposed to if you do like lag. As opposed to like if you do a challenge fight, right, with the like brake bars and everything, she's kind of got it easy in that circumstance, because even though the brake bar breaks, she can still fire off her NP, as opposed to a normal node. The unit dies, you don't get another NP after that. So there is today's artwork. Do me a favor, go give the artist some love. It is a fantastic Queen Lartoria. Bum, bum. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why, but like my dashboard on my other computer was just gone. Okay. So in a weird way, I'm like not doing the max level node on JP right now, because the max level node is a point node. And while that's fine to kind of do it, the problem is I'm not getting any of the currency for the shop. So I had to actually like step down and do some of the other nodes. So in a weird way, kind of don't like how they did this. I wish they had done it in a different sort of thing. Fully locked out on assassin class score tree by gold unlockers now. Bro, like, listen, we are just hard stuck in class score. It's why, like, if you guys don't hear me talking about it too often, it's because no matter how much like prep you do, you're just ultimately limited by their unlockers, and they don't give you the unlockers very often. Seems MP1 Pope Johanna farms the Ocelotls and LB7 like a champ. Yeah. What node would you recommend doing on JP to balance the currency and points line? I didn't even see your question, Ed, and I still managed to cover it, because yeah, it's just been a problem for me too. Like, I don't know why they did it this way. It's just at that point you're gonna have to like step down and try to address whatever currency needs you have. I've been choosing to farm the gold, because usually you need a little bit more of the gold, and gold's a little bit harder to get, but it's up to you. Just switching around, yeah. Do you think they'll ever make a mystic code that's actually stronger than either of the plug suits? I mean, I guess you could, like, just arguing semantics here, you could say that like every mystic code can be stronger than the plug suits depending on the circumstances, but the plug suits are generically the strongest because they allow you access to a fourth unit, and that fourth unit is naturally going to be stronger. So that's where, yeah, I think a lot of people just look at that and they say like, hey, this is really strong. I do think that they are probably going to start releasing like updated versions of some of the other mystic codes. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see an updated version of like Annie Blonde or something like that. Because again, it's just really, really strong for them to do so. So you can see, like, I'm not getting jack shit for currency right now. It's actually kind of annoying. I think I did finally get all of the craft essences. No, I still have one more. Is that that's the silver currency, I think. So where is it? No, that's bronze. Okay, so I just need to go do the bronze node. Wait, no. That's bronze. That's silver. Okay, God, my brain. I'm sorry, chat. So, okay, that explains it. That's why I was on this node, because I think the Lancer node here is our silver currency. Yes. Because I was doing this, I think, like, last night, and then I, like, woke up and was like, why am I on this one? I should be on the gold node. And, like, almost nobody has the, like, the CEs on their supports, so it's kind of oof. I think Komachi is another one where it's like she's a pretty good unit. I would honestly make an argument that like she's kind of better overall than Bichon. But the issue at play here right now is that yet again we don't have the third ascension, because this is another one that we've done this for. Sorry, my brain. And I think like this is just a weird time for JP. Like, you have all the other banners and people are rolling on some of those other banners and they're not rolling on the new units. I thought you want to finish the ladder. You do, Lucario, but you're going to probably finish the ladder naturally anyways, one way or another. And worst case scenario, you come back at the end. So, like, usually what happens to me... Oh, Hold on. Wait, no, not calculator. There we go. Okay. So usually what happens to me is I sit here and I go like, okay, I do the nodes as they progress. And then eventually I go and I just sit on the 90 plus plus. I do that until like I feel like I'm going to finish the shop. And then I say like, okay, so am I still deprived on points? If yes, I drop back and I do the point node, which is usually the 90 node. And then I farm that for however many times I need to do it. Usually, though, this is less than like 6 runs total. So, like, I don't want to just sit on the point node because the point node will give me a shit ton of that and not really any like rate of return on like my actual drops for the shop. So it's really difficult, especially when you don't roll, because like for instance, the shop C is basically like plus points, right? So everybody has that. So getting points isn't the hard thing. It's the gotcha Cs that you actually need, because the gotcha Cs are the ones that are going to give you the actual shop currency. So they're the ones that you need and need to be like trying to take on support. And that's why it's like, yeah, you don't want to have to go sit on the point node until you have to, really. Whichever do you would you like to get a buff next, since they are on an assassin wave? Well, see, I'm gonna go with the spirit of your question from the first part of what you asked. And I'm just going to link you this. I would like my wife to get a buff. I wish to wake up tomorrow to my wife being stronger. Please make it happen. Chad, I need you to give me your power. We need to make this a thing. No, Cad? Yes. Out on that copium. I mean, people were joking with me. They're like, it's going to be Mabe. I'm like, Mabe doesn't need one. Mabe has had like 4 different buffs. She's perfectly fine. But yeah, knowing my luck, it'll be Mabe again. Don't you want a meek wife, though, so you can open pickle jars for her? Listen. I don't need my wife to deal with, like, a pickle jar. I'd rather she deal with my pickle. What if they just make Lartoria's battery 60%? I don't even know if that would work. It theoretically does. You'd have to start with Oberon on the front line because you need the extra 20% right here. But you could do it. For double Oberon comp? Lartoria's charge skill? No, I think it's 6 turns. Unless I'm misremembering. Which, that would be really weird if I was misremembering my own wife's cooldowns. Yeah, it's 6 turns. Okay. So you can get it down to 5 at 50%. So Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, if she had a 5-turn cooldown, you could lower that to 4, and then you could run single Koyan instead of double Koyan. But because it's not, because it's a 6-turn cooldown, this doesn't work. So they would have to like actually buff the charge skill. And frankly speaking, while that would help, that is not like my desired way of them handling that. Lartreya could get a skill 2 buff. Hey, you know what else Lartreya could get a buff towards? Her Noble Phantasm. Like, kind of wild, but that's low key what I'm hoping they do. No, yeah. So waiting for a Tamama buff? Listen, you've already had 2. Sorry, let me rephrase that. You've already had 3, I think. Mom had 3 or 2. Yeah, Tamama's had 3, so I don't want to hear it. My wife has only had 1. And that buff was adding 2 power mods to her deck. So it did give her upward damage scalability, but it didn't change her permanent overall damage, which is actually what needs to change at this point. Lartreya, I'd have to look at the numbers again, but Lartreya is on the weaker side of all the Lancers right now. Because I know like even for some of our Looper Lancers, they've now had like NP interludes. So it's getting kind of rough. Other prisoners should get a buff IMO as cats. I agree with that. And, you know, someone was commenting that, like, Osakabehime is a unit for the actual event, hence the reason she got a buff. That's true. It's just not going to stop me from coping. I am coping so hard, I'm all the way in Copenhagen. You must give Mellison an NP interlude? No. Mellison should never get another buff as long as this game continues to exist. Like, Mellison basically should not get a buff until she is the worst SSR Lancer. And I know chat doesn't want to hear it, but that is the truth. Because what Mellison has over all the other Lancers is charge. And Invuln Pierce. And, you know, we can go down the list, so. But it's the truth. Like, usually the way the game's balance used to be designed, and the way it works best, is when they actually have this inversely proportional relationship. The more charge you have, the less damage you deal. This is the way that the game is supposed to be balanced. And it makes perfect sense as to why, because if you look at the craft essences, the more charge a craft essence gives, the less damage it provides. The more damage a craft essence gives, the less charge it provides. So this is the way the entire game is balanced. And then, like, for a couple units out there, somewhere a couple of years back, they just suddenly forgot that formula and decided to be like, you know what? You have 100% charge and crazy damage. So, like, it was just really stupid because it naturally just made certain units, like, pop off extremely well. And part of that is, too, like, if you look at, like, Mellison's actual, like, raw NP number, it's actually not that impressive. Like, it's not super strong. It's because she touches Black Grail and because she has a 3-turn stacking overcharge buff. So you have that Black Grail with Oberon synergy, and then you have a stacking overcharge that keeps getting stronger with every NP. And it results in a monster. Like, so it's one of those deals of like, yeah, they made a unit that's like functionally super effective, and they probably shouldn't have. Mellison should get a buff just because. I know, like, it's. I'm not saying this out of hate. I'm saying it purely out of a balance perspective. Mellison should not receive a buff until every other AoE Lancer is stronger than her. And even then, right? Like the other argument there too is I just said AoE. Chat. Melison's also a single target, so that right there is another problem. No matter what they do to Melison, it actually causes double the balance issues. Did I miss the mukbang? Yes. Buff Summer Melt. I wouldn't say it'd be like the most broken thing in the world to buffer. It would depend on how they wanted to. Do you think if they did Melu, they'd make her do what Ptolemy does and shift between single target and multi-target modes instead of just going one way? That'd be an interesting idea. Like if they wanted to buff not her damage, but instead buff like her capability. I'm gonna say that's not the smartest idea for them, but it would be a way to like give her an improvement without actually changing her like damage output, right? So there's something to be said about that idea. Like I don't think that's the worst idea ever. I guess we're taking a gold CE to a silver node. Still waiting for them to buff all the vanilla charisma Salters. 12% charisma is a shame. I mean, listen, is 12% charisma a shame on the strongest AoE saber in the game? Sorry, you guys know I'm a saber face lover. Salter absolutely should not receive another upgrade. Absolutely not. Like, she's that fucking strong. Like, it's really bad. She should be even stronger, right? Like, see, like, I can't take a comment like that seriously because it's just bias, right? Like, it's just, I want this unit to be stronger because I like this unit. And that's fine. You're more than welcome to think that, but I can't take the comment seriously. Because, like, I'm sitting here trying to, like, actually seriously discuss balance, and then chat's, like, memeing on me with that. Give her survivability instead, then? I mean, you could do something like that. A little bit the way they've, like, always tried to do altars is they make them a little bit more, like, volatile and, like, glass cannon-y. So I'm going to say it maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense for her, but I don't know. I feel like you could make a lore justification for it. Am I wrong that Vanilla Christmas and 2025 FGO are outdated? Was that a sentence? Was that a complete coherent English sentence? Because like you said a bunch of things, but I'm not sure I understand what any of that means. I kind of want to shoot in Doji buff. I kind of do too. Shootin's one of those, like, she's kind of plagued by the fact that she's old school design. So the fact that she has like the single hit in P is making it so that she's not like a fluid looper. And it's like, okay, but she has 30% charge and you can kind of make it like you can force it now with like Oberon and Castoria. But it really doesn't feel like at that point she's doing too hot, especially since she is an arts unit. So she doesn't have a lot of that synergy. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they could do a little bit more for her, but I don't know what it would be. And that being said, like, we had that discussion the other day. I literally just received a DM before stream from somebody thanking me for my take on Semiramis. Because a lot of people are like, I guess like they're taking the approach of like, oh, Semiramis is fine now. And it's like, I mean, she's certainly competitive now. She wasn't at all before. But she still kind of needs more. And the reason why is, again, I choose to look at the whole picture and not just like her completely in a vacuum, irrespective of anything else. Because I can look at her numbers and I can say like, yeah, you know, this does have potential. This can be pretty good. But I think a lot of people end up like not seeing the actual numbers and they kind of just they look at what the buff is and they go like, oh, that's a good buff, and they don't think about it very much. And they don't like think about the practicality of it and like putting it in an actual comp and what it would do. And that's something that I usually always do. I try to sit there and think about like, what effect will this actually have beyond just, hey, the things like in their kit have changed. And I think it's an important thing to think about because it's actually going to give you the perspective that you need to understand the buff and not only like what the actual impact of it is, but also like maybe why the devs did what they did. With Ketz, I feel like all she needs is an NP interlude. I don't feel like Ketz's kid is bad. I feel like it's just purely a she's kind of left behind issue. Orion buff? You mean like OG Orion? Yeah, so like OG Orion is one of the few single target archers that actually has an interlude. Like, sorry, NP interlude. Now I say that like the 3 stars have them. A couple of the 4 stars have gotten them now, but like the 5 stars, she's still the only one that has one. And I kind of want them to actually like adjust her kit. I want like return durations on stuff. I want like, I don't know, maybe like some sort of like charge per turn or something, like some way to like get back to the NP a little bit more consistently, even if it's not like a even if it's not like a like, you know, like immediate instant like charge me back thing. I was surprised you released a buff video. Yeah, so I was talking about that because we were talking about some content ideas. And again, if you guys have any ideas for content, feel free to like let me or OKS know. I'd love to like do this because I think I need to like branch out from just being the guide guy. Because for better or worse, FGO just doesn't have a lot of content to cover guide-wise. So it's difficult to maintain a good content schedule for the game if like that's the only thing I'm doing. I guess I'm just going to take air. I'm tired of refreshing looking for a drop C. But yeah, because like we were talking and I was sitting there saying like, you know, it's weird because I actually end up going over these buffs all the time, but I never actually make a video out of it. And I was like, I need to just go ahead and sit down and do that. So speaking of, again, we did get the Semiramis buff video out. It's a rather long one because I talked for a long time about Semiramis, but I think like in the future, I think when I talk buffs, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit more clear and concise and short. That way we have like, you know, the longer analysis videos for the actual full-blown unit, and then like a shorter video talking about the buff and like the impact it has. Takaru is the buffed Muramasa. I mean, Muramasa still does a couple things that Takaru doesn't, but yeah, I think Takaru is just more damage and still has really good loopability. Access to the love. Cheap idea, hand cam playing on the cell phone. Oh, wait. I mean, like... Chat, like, I can hold it up in front of you, and you can see me doing it, right? Like, for anyone that ever doubts, because I've seen people say, like, oh, this is, like, recorded, or, like, it's an automated thing, it's not him actually playing. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I've gotten good over the years of being able to, like play and, like, tap and, like, feel on the screen and just, like, kind of glance over real quick to where the tap is to know, like, where I'm pressing. But otherwise, no, like, most of this is just, like, me doing this and like streaming for years, and so I've kind of learned how to handle it. Oh, chat, yeah, so like the last run I did, I managed to get my Mystic Code finished. So I'm now ranked 10 on all Mystic Codes again. So at this point, we're gonna try to 2-turn it. I'm not sure if I perfectly can, but we'll try. Did you ever play Woo? I actually did try it out at first. It wasn't really my cup of tea. CAD pre-records his gameplay. Nodders, yeah. Well, I mean, I know that, like, so for instance, with the analysis videos, that's, I think, one of the reasons that they're not doing so well. I think the analysis videos, for better or worse, like, don't include actual footage of the servant. And I think people put way too much weight on that, because I think most people like look at the footage in a video of like the servant doing a thing, and like it's kind of like those brain rot videos of like a dude jumping around in Minecraft, where like it's meant to just be a pure like mental distraction for you. So it's like people get tired of staring at like me reading off of fandom and they just want to instead see gameplay footage, even though it means nothing. I tune the footage part out. Yeah, like, so I think that's what it is. And I think like, I've been trying to think about like, is there a easy way that I can like get footage into the video without having to do like heavy editing? But it's rough because like, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to streamline the process for the editors so that like I can pump the content out fast, but also at the same time, it's like, yeah, I think people actually do want to see the footage. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one. I'm not really sure what I want to do. We'll pop that preemptively. And we'll pop that preemptively. Although it really shouldn't matter, because we're probably going to murmur. Subway Surfer window needed, yeah. How will I know a servant does damage if I don't see the damage? Yeah, I mean, it's really funny, too, because I've had people that say, like, oh, all he does is, like, read off the fandom, and I'm like, how I know that you've never watched to the end of one of my videos? Because, like, the first half of the video is me going through fandom, talking about things that you may want to consider, and even in some cases denoting stuff that's not included on fandom. And then straight up, like, the second half of the video is me giving you refund numbers, me showing you damage output, me talking about like what the optimal composition for the unit is. So it's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's all I do. That's all I do is read off fandom. I clearly know nothing about the game. It is what it is. I think it's like at that point someone's just like kind of got a chip on their shoulder about the content for whatever reason, and they just don't want to like it. Like people get like really tribalistic with this stuff, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care at that point. I usually just try to tune those people out. All right, let's see how bad this gets. You know, in theory, I should have absolutely put a ruler on the back line in case this doesn't work. How about doing a single run as a demo at the end? The problem is I don't always have the unit. So, like, that is one of the criticisms is like, oh, okay, well, he doesn't have the footage because he doesn't have the unit. And it's like, yeah, I don't really want to, like, have to roll every single unit on JP. I'm sorry. That is, like, it's a personal preference, but I also, for what it's worth, I don't feel like I should have to feel obligated to roll every single unit in the game to be a content creator for the game. Just roll every new unit, yeah. Recounted the amount of times you said basically or something. I definitely say it a lot. Especially, so like, you guys know I don't work off script. That's both a strength of mine and a detriment. Because I don't work off a script, I repeat myself a couple times. I say the same, like, colloquialisms over and over again. And I have a tendency to, like, meander and go off on tangents. Whereas if I used a script, I would have to, like, be laser focused and be right to the point in saying everything that I wanted to say, but then would have to put in the time to write a script for every single video, which would extremely like drag out the actual like video production process for me. The fandom is the first thing they see and the first thing you go over. Yeah, I think so, Dark. So like, and who knows, maybe that's what I need to do is maybe I need to like mix that up a little bit and like start it like almost do it in the reverse. Like, start with the rest of the stuff first and then go through it. Actually, I didn't even see how much damage did that do, chat. Did I one-shot him or did I have to use a card there? This like literally gets used a lot. Literally, basically, and actually get used a ton. And I know that because that's just who I am and that's how I say it. One shot? Sweet. It will kill. Yeah, let me see how much damage it actually does. It's definitely gonna one-shot here. I don't know why I bothered to take the the Brave Chain. I think Space Ishtar is also in range for a buff. I don't. I know people like want Space Ishtar to be stronger, but Space Ishtar is very much in the Melisande situation. Space Ishtar is very strong still to this day. There's just other units have been buffed beyond her. So to me, She's still sitting pretty. She's a very adaptable unit. She gives you the ability to change which card type you want. And that means that she can function in multiple ways for you. So like you go like, oh man, I need an arts Avenger. She can be that for you. Oh man, I need a Buster Avenger. She can be that for you. Quick, it's not as good for her, but that's mostly due to the status of Quick, right? I just want her skill 3 to be 100% no damage needed. Yeah, see, like, honestly, I'm okay with something like that. If it's like a minor buff, I think that's fine. I think they need to be very cautious about how much damage she does, though, because of exactly that. Like, you have the other Avengers, and the other Avengers are like, let's say, like, Mao Nobu, right? Mao Nobu's kind of your Buster-centric Avenger. Dantes is your Quick Avenger. And then, sorry. My nose. Summer Comma is your Arts Avenger, right? So it's like Space Ishtar is competitive with all of these, but does less damage than all of them. At least, like, I think Summer Comma is the most debatable one, but to me, it's like if you buff her, then she's stronger than all of these, and then there's no reason to roll any of these, right? Like, so some of y'all would want like Space Ishtar to get that buff in damage purely so that you don't like you're like, oh, she's on top now. Now I don't have to worry about these other units. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think that's fair to the other units at this point. Like Space Ishtar does have the adaptability. She'll always be good because of that. So I think she's in a fine place. But yeah, if you wanted like some quality of life to make her more consistent, I think the only one that really hurts is the Summer Comma comparison, because that is like they are kind of neck and neck, and people often like go like, okay, well, Space Ishtar has an 80% chance instead of a 100% chance, so she can fail. And then other people go like, yeah, but Summer Comma has a chance that her charm fails. And so people kind of go back and forth about that, and it's really most of the time it's just EP arguments over like who their favorite waifu is. Cope Ren fans. No, I'm not saying it just to assault the Ren fans. I'm just saying they actually have relatively good balance right now for the AoE Avengers. And I wouldn't mess that up. Space Ishtar were released today. She would definitely be the most abominable servant in the game. What do you mean abominable? Like bad? Or did you mean like indomitable? Right, kind of like the Mellow situation. Yeah. So Mellow is both strong, has a shit ton of charge, but Mellow can do single target and AoE. So she's also in a weird spot where like they have to be very careful about her balance. And frankly speaking, they've been screwing up her balance for a long time because they really haven't like I think in that time period for AoE Lancers, we've gotten a buff to Ereshkigal, Bradamante, and Britomart, and that's it. I don't think they've touched like any of the other AoE Lancers. Single target Avengers on the other end. Honestly, single target Avengers, they're mostly weird because of what the what Ordeal Call Dantes does, and I think that's mostly because again he basically ends up like the stun is what's just so freaking strong on him. Didn't Karna get one? Oh, true. Yeah, Karna got a buff to his well, it wasn't like an NP interlude, right? Like he got a buff to his charge skill, so now it's an even 30%. Which is, man, they keep screwing over Arjuna Archer like as much as possible, because Arjuna Archer got a buff first, but his is like a weird like per turn thing that, well, yes, it is way more charge than Karna got. Karna just works a lot more fluidly in a system now because of it. So it's like Arjuna just kind of got screwed because they keep giving him like really weird stuff, if he even gets stuff. Karna got fixed, not buffed. Yeah, I think there's a good argument for that, right? I like his design and kit so much too. See, I don't really care much for the kit. I think the kit is pretty oof, but I think they could make it better. She's an old servant, yet she's still considered one of the strongest Omni farmers. Oh, I got you. Okay. But at least double, probably. I love you. I feel strongly about something in your general direction as well. They should do a big batch of 1 to 3 star upgrades. I think the biggest issue with the 1 to 3 stars at this point is just like they don't fare very well in the high end content. And that's sad because they used to be perfectly fine and serviceable. Sanson still has human only, for fuck's sake. I mean, to be fair, he's one of the few that actually does, so 5-turn debuffing means really good. It is. Like Arjuna's kit is actually a little bit more like oriented towards knockdown drag out fights rather than like just 3-turning. So in that regard, he can be strong, but he's still kind of wonky. Virginia had a second Buster card or Arts NP, it would help out so much. I mean, I see a lot of hate thrown towards triple Arts. There's a lot of people that think like Arts is like somehow not good, and I was just laugh because it's like, yeah, the like I hate to say it, but Arts is just the Omni card at this point because it can do everything. The worst thing for it is like trying to crit with an Arts card, and even still, you can still kind of make that happen. But like, yeah, Arts is just super strong, and to me, it is easily the like safest card of all of them. Arts is the favorite child. Feels like it. What's your opinion on Ku Alter? Honestly, Ku Alter doesn't get talked about a lot, but especially after his last buff, he's in a lot better position. Like he's rough, especially with his ability to buff strip. So it's like a lot of people don't remember that he has that anymore, but it's a thing. So he can be really, really good, especially as a cockroach, right? Like having a nigh unkillable berserker is always a really nice thing. He's bad as an enemy, he is. You really don't want to face him. If they made it so old servants had their skill upgrades to make it so they actually have 3 skills directly on a servant. Oh, actually, okay, Esther, are you here? Yes. Would you like me to record this and then upload it to you like later tonight? It'll make it easier so that way you don't have to cut it out. If possible, yeah, I can do it. Ugh, stronger than red. Sorry. Red what? Oh, like stronger than Buster? So Buster obviously like each card type has their own advantages, right? Quick is kind of the red-headed stepchild at this point. Just because a lot of what Quick has done has been stolen by a lot of other things. Now that being said, there is some value to like Mighty Chains, and it does provide a lot better of an outlook for Quick, but it's still like it's kind of being carried by the Mighty Chain at that point. Buster as a card type is just really strong. So like Buster is the most damage, and then it is the second most in Star Gen. Arts is the second most in damage and the worst in Star Gen. So I'm actually using the arrows to denote like 1, 2, and 3. So they're third, right? And then Quick is the third worst in damage. And the best in Stargen. So in a weird way, this makes like the arts card seem really bad, right? Because if you look at it, it's like, okay, theoretically here, Buster's the best, but not really. Because in a weird part, and I'll actually let me fix this. Because there's a third stat here, right? And that's NP Gen. Okay? So Buster is the worst. Arts is the first. And Quick is the second. Now, this does change around with hit counts and stuff, but this is the general way that all of this works. Okay? So this looks like kind of bad for Arts if you're only concerned with like these top two things. And to a degree, like maybe that's a thing, right? Because like you can manufacture charge, you can get like charge per turn Cs and stuff like that. However, the deal with this is charge is an infinitely scaling commodity for two reasons. One, the more charge you get, the more NPs you get. Two, if you manage to go overcharge by so much, you can actually get overcharge and use that to maybe power more damage, more effects, you name it. So there is a benefit to it. Whereas like for Quick, if we were to consider stars, if you go over 50 crit stars, there is no benefit. Zero, zilch, nada, none whatsoever. There's no benefit to having more than too much. And in fact, we kind of see this because depending on the unit, depending on how you're playing, usually around 30 stars is enough to like secure a lot of crits. It's not enough to like guarantee it, but it's enough to get you usually like 2 to 3 crits on average. So that is where I say like, yeah, really stars lose a lot of value the more you have. And because so many of the compositions now can manufacture them without having to use a quick card, it's very much down in its commodity. So to me, I think Stargen is ultimately the most useless out of all of these things. To me, the biggest thing most of the time is actually damage or NP gen. And when you look at it from this lens, behold, a lot of this really begins to make a lot of sense. You have the Buster card that's number 1 in damage and number 3 in NP gen. You have the Arts card that's number 2 in damage and number 1 in NP gen, so it's coming out smelling like a rose in this scenario. And you have the Quick that is literally the last in damage and the second most in NP gen. So to me, Buster has a lot of potential in just, hey, I need to deal damage, I need to deal it now, and I need to get this job done. Arts has a lot in the sense of, hey, I can still deal decent damage, and I can just keep looping and getting back to another NP. And then Quick is kind of the weird one. Quick doesn't work very well right now. And this is why Mighty Chain had to fix Quick. This is why they had to make adjustments to the Quick chain. It's because they naturally saw this as well. They had given away the prize commodity of Quick, which was star generation, to just about everything else, and so Quick doesn't do as good as a long-term result, right? Now, a lot of people will tell you, like, hey, yeah, but, you know, like, it's really nice to use Quick units, especially in things like min turns and challenge fights, where you have to keep going over time. Usually, a lot of Quick units actually have really good card like performance, and this is due in part to, one, the Mighty Chains now being in effect, and two, the fact that I think they were always kind of designed with that old school mentality of Quick not being as good, and so they were kind of given that as a result to help them out. So yeah, I think it's like there is some decent synergy there, and that Mighty Chain, like with a Quick MP, is going to be like a Quick MP, an Arts card, and a Buster card for damage, or a Buster card and an Arts card in the third slot for NP generation, and it's certainly pretty decent. As opposed to like if you're leading off with an Arts NP, you're probably doing a Quick card and then a Buster card, also not bad. That's why I say like the Mighty Chain issue, especially when we start looking at NPs, is kind of overstated because Art still has it pretty good. Buster, on the other hand, has to go BQA for its kind of ideal, but BQA was the old ideal damage chain, assuming you didn't have multiple Buster cards. So that's really still not that bad either. So to me, it's like, yeah, I think the Mighty Chain part of this is kind of a little bit of an overstated thing. You can form a Mighty Chain with any of these card types. It doesn't really matter. It just, what the Mighty Chain does, it starts pulling in the quick card and actually getting used, as opposed to like before, you would do like, oh man, like I'm going to do a Buster NP into an Arts card into another Buster card. Or like, oh man, I'm going to do an Arts NP into like 2 Buster cards or something like that. So now you start seeing a lot more quick getting used, but it's basically because that is kind of forcing it in order to gain the effects of the Mighty Chain. So to me, yeah, I think it's like a lot of this is kind of glossing over some of the nitty gritty on individual units. But I think ultimately as a result, we have to start looking at the systems as a result of this. And it kind of forces some unfortunate truths on us. One is that the art system is by far the most like mechanically complete system. 2 is that Buster is pretty close, but Buster is largely limited by certain units, only being able to start from 50% charge, or even 60% in some cases. Quick is just hard limited. Quick is in the same position that Buster is in, with less support options, so it can't do as many things. And so it often results on you like having to like crit down a wave or something like that, to which I say that is not a system because it cannot be reliably done. And therefore, as a result, that system has flaws. It has issues. So don't get me wrong, that is a potential solution, but it is an RNG solution. So it's not something that can be absolutely relied upon. If you're sitting there trying to farm nodes over and over and over again, that's going to get hell of annoying when you just don't get the cards that you want. So yeah, to me, Arts has already reached the quote-unquote finish line, as I like to say. Buster's just now getting there, and Quick is still like way in the distance. It can see the finish line, but it can't get to it yet. Arts cards is the middle child, confirmed. Yeah, I mean, Arts, to me, if they really wanted to balance it, they probably should have done Quick being the middle card for damage, but that would have required a different like thing, because then Arts would deal the least damage but the most in P-Gen. Buster would deal the most damage but the least in P-Gen. And Quick would be like the middle thing that blends both of those. But they, for whatever reason, they chose to make Arts the middle card in terms of damage output. And I think that's something that has haunted them for a long time now at this point. Quick MPs actually do more damage naturally. Yeah, and that's on purpose. I think like the devs knew going back that like, oh man, it's a thing. But like, so when we say like quick MPs do more naturally, so you can actually see this. If you were to go look at like Space Ishtar's numbers, right? Like Space Ishtar, I'd have to see the breakdown myself, but I'm just kind of like memory recalling. This is like, if Space Ishtar's like raw numbers are like 27,000. Her quick NP is going to be like 28,000. Like it's not actually, that's probably even too much. It's not even that big of a difference. So it's like, yes, if you switch her NP type to quick, it will do ever so slightly more, but it's really not like that much more. And it is mostly a like rounding thing a little bit, and I think they kind of gave that rounding benefit to quick because I think they knew like the quick card was itself the weakest card otherwise. Remember when all the post Scotty servants with quick MPs had shit refund? Yeah, I think they did that on purpose. What limits Buster the most at this point is Koyan. She's by far the weakest of the 3 great supports. She doesn't provide attack up, doesn't provide NP up, only gives Buster up and cooldown reduction. I don't think so. Like, honestly, to a large degree, I think this is difficult because I think it's definitely in the eye of the beholder to some extent, but I think as you start to look at like Buster, the Buster system works really well. The only issue with it is it does sort of enforce double Koyan Skya. The only exception to that is if you have, again, a unit that has 50% charge on a 5-turn cooldown, of which there are not very many in the game. And then they can get away with using the 5th append instead and run single Koyanskaya if they want to operate in that way. But yeah, I think Koyanskaya was a little bit of a stroke of genius. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't have like a defensive NP or anything like that. But to be fair, neither does Summer Scotty at this point. So to me, Summer Scotty and a lot of what her kit does is meant to facilitate extra critting potential. I do think that's good. However, I do think that RNG is still what ultimately screws her. Whereas, like, when we deal with Koyanskaya, there's no RNG. It is all 100% guaranteeable, and that is something that is really good. And you can kind of say the same thing a little bit with Castoria at this point, due to the sheer impact that she has on the arts refund of most units. She is also very much guaranteeable. Scotty is only if you can complete the loop by getting back to 50%. And that immediately gets thrown out the second we deal with like an odd structured node. So I think that's what really just hurts Scotty, is Scotty compositions don't have a good way of doing like multiple damage dealer setups without the DPS carrying the load for her. And it can be done in certain circumstances, but at that point, that's no different than Buster. We're like, oh, well, the Buster system works better because certain units carry it harder. And it's like, yeah, that's the truth, but that's also like one of its drawbacks. So it's the same way as like as we look at Quick, that's also one of Quick's drawbacks. Even her niche can be ignored most of the time. So wait, like, what do you mean? Like the man niche? Because the man niche is one of the 3 big niches in the game. Because you have the 5 attributes, right? So you have beast, star, man, sky, and earth, right? And man, sky, and earth are the 3 big ones. Beast and star are exceedingly rare. You don't normally encounter them. And man, sky, and earth are just like ridiculous if you ever have access to them. So one of the meta supports literally dealing with one of the big 3 means that every time that you encounter man in a node, Buster comps just go hard. And it's really funny too, because they actually like had to start shying away from it because it was becoming such an issue. They stopped putting man in so many of the nodes because they knew it made Koyanskaya pop off. Now, as a result, we started to see them give like man attribute like super effective modifier to some of the other like Quick and arts units, because I think they know like they need to start doing something because Buster is just sheerly dominant. Oh, I mean, yeah, if you mean the human side of that, the human side is definitely ignorable, but that's... Human is just one of the worst niches in the game, respectively. Most of the servants have 3 modifiers. Take Melison, for example, has 40% attack up, 30% MP damage, and 20% Buster up on her MP. Yeah, but how is that a bad thing? Like, I think it's perfectly fine. No thoughts, empty head, only Buster. Indeed. I forgot she even had human until I double checked recently. I know. Most people do, because it doesn't come into play very often. Are Oberon and Koyanskaya of Light the Buster sports? Yeah, I mean, we also have Koyanskaya of Dark and Merlin and, you know, any number of other options too. Oberon is universal. Oberon just helps Buster more because he has 50% Buster up. Waver? Yeah, you could say Waver and Reigns too. But like, so this is really interesting, and I've talked about it before, but double Oberon can actually be stronger than double Koyanskaya. And what it comes down to, chat, is 2 questions. 1, is the node man attribute? 2, and I don't remember the exact calculation, but I believe it's can the unit double up 40% of modifiers or more? If they can, if these 2 things are true, it is a man node, Koyanskaya basically at worst is dead even. And if you can do 40% of modifiers it doesn't matter what the node is. Korean Sky ends up better. Ugh. At least with relation to running double Koinskaya as opposed to double Oberon. Both of those compositions, like for instance, if you run double Oberon, you're going to have a Koinskaya on the other side as the third support. And if you run double Koinskaya, you're going to have an Oberon on the other side. So they each get to like benefit from each other still. But this is what usually tips the, and like I said, I'm not 100% sure on the 40%. But that's usually like those two considerations are what tip the damage from like being better on one side or the other. Not to be confused with demonic, yeah. Carried by its DPS units, not by its support, unlike other card types. See, I like the reason that I would say this is I would argue that right now, Quick is kind of carried more by its damage units. And I think that's why Quick has so much problems. Because a little bit, and I've explained this before, but it's like, it's very difficult for a system to work properly when every unit is expected to carry the load for the support. Like I guess I'm disagreeing with the assertion that Buster is carried by the damage units and not by the supports because of how badly Quick is, right? Because if I look to Quick, yeah, there's certain units that are expected to make up for the deficiencies that Scotty has. And the problem with it is it doesn't help some of the units. So the system is inherently flawed for Quick right now. And it's like, it can work, but it like, where Quick really works is a 3-3x type of node. The second you get out of this architecture of a node, Quick really begins to suffer. Really begins to suffer. And a lot of that's because a lot of units just don't have the refund, or can't consistently crit down the waves, or again, can't charge up like somebody else in the party to help them out. So that's the issue at play, is like so many of the DPS units for Quick are relied on to do one of those three things. And Scotty, unfortunately, doesn't necessarily help facilitate it. Like, Scotty can make you crit harder, but Scotty can't make you get the cards. Scotty can charge you up, but Scotty might not be able to get you enough charge for you to be able to refund if there's not 3 enemies. And Scotty cannot charge somebody else in the party, therefore we have a problem. So, like, there's 3 like major issues right there that Quick can encounter. Buster has none of those issues. Not even a single one. Like, the only issue Buster has usually is there starting charge? And if there is, then Buster is perfectly fine. If there's not, then Buster has issues, depending on the unit. So it's like, I don't think that's necessarily a Koin Sky issue at that point, though. Do you think adding Sky Power Mod on Scotty can fix some of the problems? Kind of, but you actually already have Sky Power Mod on a like Omni unit, which is Nero Bride. So she can give 30%. Wait, is it 30% or is it 50? I think it's 30. 30% power mod to Sky for everybody. That she, well, sorry, for the unit that she targets with her third skill. With a targetable 30% battery for Quick? Okay, yeah, let's segue from these discussions into Osakabehime, because that's probably the better thing. Okay, so I literally had to go look. It's like, wait, did Tamamo have an NP interlude when we were talking about it earlier? And I was like, yes, she did. I couldn't remember if she did or not. Of course they didn't update it. How do I go about this? I actually like the laziness here. I don't blame them for this. I would also just put up alter egos. Osakabehime. It's on the strengthening listing page. Yeah, but I don't know why, but like whenever fandom updates shit, they don't update their front page. That's supposed to like reference all of it. So I think it's like they have to update their front page manually, and it doesn't like flow to the front page, which is really weird. Quick looping being refund based makes it like arts, but worse. Yeah, and see, this is really funny because I've seen people say, like, again, like, oh, you just want quick to be arts, and I'm like, quick is arts for all intents and purposes. Like again, quick refunds 100% with their cards. Arts refunds 300%. Arts has a 300% modifier to NP gain. Most people just don't realize there's that big of a disparity between these two. Like, it's the gap is not a gap. The gap is a canyon. So it's like, that's the issue at play, and that's why, like, arts just refunds so much more easily with far fewer hit counts. Wanted to ask what's your opinion on Draco. I plan to go for NP5 Verona. I know she's generally weaker than Castoria Berserker, but what would you say? I think Castoria Berserker does definitely have like the greater one-shot power in a lot of cases, but I do think Draco's still really, really nice, especially if it ends up in like a knockdown, drag-out fight. Draco's got some real staying power to her, and Draco does have like multi-turn duration on her skills beyond just the 3. So I think that's really nice, and I do really like Draco, and I think she's a really strong unit. I think a lot of people have decided to start selling her short, mostly due to the fact that there are extra class units abound in Ordeal Call, and I'm going to tell everyone this will kind of end. You will get out of Ordeal Call, and then people are going to be kicking themselves for thinking that like Draco is somehow bad, because again, she's 1, not bad at all. 2, there are plenty of fights still, even in Ordeal Call, that are not extra classes. And 3, she is still just a really usable and loopable unit. So I'm not really sure why people are like I think it's like, again, people just have an agenda. They want to shit on her. They don't want to like her for whatever the reason. Okay. I still can't fully refund Berserker Sashi's NP gauge. Sounds like you need more supports. The lack of supports with their AY charge. Yeah, that's the thing I keep bringing up is like Quick needs a sustain option for survivability. Quick needs a party charger, and Quick needs some low star options too. Like kind of like a Shakespeare or a like Mozart or something like that. Like Quick needs that at a low level where it's like everybody can have it. It's freely accessible. Shit. Quick needs Shufu. That's what Quick needs. Like, buff Shufu and make her arts up, arts and quick up. What am I listening to? Goku and Vegeta sing Cupid? Oh my god. Draco's biggest demerit is her deck. Yeah, and I think it's like it's still not that big of a deal, and there's a lot of stuff you can do to resolve that with like command codes. Because like, so for instance, when we compare like Draco's deck and Galatea's deck, Galatea had the same problem, but Galatea was a berserker, and her Buster card didn't really do too much. At least with Draco, you can do a lot still, and Draco just has like so much of her charge per turn automated. So I think she's still really fine. Residente, thank you for the 54. Hope you're doing good. Jay with the song skip. Okay, let's get this party started. All right, guys. So Osakabehime is our newest unit here to get a buff with Valentine's Day. Obviously, I was mentioning before, it's like, man, I really want Lartoria to get a buff. She's gonna have a banner coming up next, but I don't know that she necessarily will, because Osakabehime probably got the buff due to the fact she's actually involved in the event. Now, it's interesting because Osakabehime has come a long way over the years. Frankly, I think a lot of people don't really understand Osakabehime still to this point. To me, Osakabehime is a very like mixed bag sort of unit, and I honestly I don't blame anyone for not really understanding her too well, because I honestly think the devs don't understand her too well. I think the devs themselves don't have a clear vision for Osakabehime. They're not really sure what they want to do with her. And this relegates her more towards a like challenge orientation, maybe even a solo artist, because that's where Osakabehime actually performs best, because it deals with a lot of her actual deficiencies. So as we look through this, again, we can see she's already had a buff to the first skill. She's now getting a buff to the second skill. And the third skill is still a highly effective use, but, you know, one that hasn't gotten any sort of special love. She's also had the buff to her Noble Phantasm. So kind of as we go back, you guys can remember, she was thought when she first came out that she would maybe be like the savior of Quick. And then we found out that she was kind of a faker in that regard, and that who we were actually looking for was Scotty. Scotty comes out, Scotty propels Quick into a new era and really ends up saving the card type for years. And it wasn't until, again, like Castoria shows up that Quick really took kind of a hit in terms of its efficiency comparison. So that's kind of a little bit of a history of the meta. But Osakabehime came out first even before Scotty and was expected to kind of do some heavy lifting, but didn't really do it. You can see she does actually buff the party's quick performance for 3 turns. This is definitely a nice thing. But unfortunately, so much of her utility is locked into her Noble Phantasm, and Osakabehime doesn't really have a good way to get back to it. This is something we're going to kind of revisit here in a second, but as you guys can see, she did get the upgrade that added, ironically enough, Buster support to this, which even back then, and still to this day, strikes me as somewhat odd. This was sort of a weird thing that they decided to do. They increased the amount of healing that she was going to do with the NP, and to me, the reason I say this is because it's almost like they felt like she couldn't do a good job alone as a quick buffer, as a like quick support. And so they tried to branch her into like Buster as well, and maybe cover a little bit more of a quick units deck by, again, kind of buffing the Buster cards on top of the quick cards. To me, though, it's really kind of neither here nor there, and it really ends up in a weird spot. So as you look to her, like I said, I think a lot of people just kind of use her in a solo environment and challenge environment because of these two effects right here on the third skill. She has 40% defense down for 1 turn, allowing someone to hit really hard. She also has the ability to buff strip an enemy. This could be really sort of invaluable in a tough scenario where the enemy has something really annoying that they have buffed to themselves, and then she can remove it and then kind of eliminate the threat. Now, the second skill was one that I think a lot of people were hoping would get some attention, so I don't really blame them for targeting this, but it's kind of a weird buff, and I don't want to make it sound bad, because it's not a bad buff, but it's still maybe like, I think the devs are maybe missing the forest for the trees still. So you can see she charges 1 ally's NP gauge, she increases their critical star generation rate for 3 turns, and so this was a targeted skill. It dealt 20% extra charge here for the target, and 50% extra NP gen, or sorry, star gen. Star gen can be really good, especially on certain units. However, a lot of quick units don't actually need the star gen too much, and so then you start to consider like, well, who is this going to be used on? A lot of the time, it's going to be used on Osakabehime herself. So this is where, again, like we have this soloing aspect to her, and as you guys can see, a lot of like her buffing, like her defense, her healing, and her card type ups for 3 turns are locked behind this Noble Phantasm. So Osakabehime needs a way to get to her Noble Phantasm more consistently and easy. The reason a lot of people will solo with Osakabehime is because her card performance is actually pretty darn good. As you can see, she has pretty good hit counts on the quick cards, and still at least 2 hit arts cards. Not the best, but it's certainly not the worst either. And all of this on a 0.83 NP gain rate. So if she's generating stars, she's charging herself in conjunction with using her own cards in a solo environment where she's going to get her full deck, be mighty chaining every single turn. This actually works out really well for her. But the second you try to put her in a party composition, this doesn't work out so well, because realistically speaking, Quick doesn't have a good party charger, and she doesn't really bring a lot to the table even still with just having a single targeted skill. So they upgrade this skill, and they now make it completely party-wide. So her 20% charge is now a party-wide 20% charge. This is good. This alleviates the need to maybe use this on Osakabehime herself, or maybe even to target somebody else with it and use it. Now you don't have to make that hard decision. You can just kind of press it and forget it. It's also going to increase the party's critical star generation rate for 3 turns by 50%. So again, now this is a party-wide effect. Everybody's going to start generating the stars for you. And then it's also going to overcharge the party's NP by 2 stages, 1 time over 3 turns. So again, everybody gets this for at least 1 NP. It's going to be definitely good for enhancing damage or maybe even refund if the unit has an overcharge that deals with refund. But if it's used again, Osakabehime herself will now have up to 40% instead of the base 30% that she was going to have otherwise. Kind of why I was pointing to it and talking to it. So this is definitely something that can help her out. Definitely can be a boon to the party. And I think that's what they're trying to do here is they're trying to make Osakabehime not so much of a solo act, way more of a, hey, please use me in the party. The problem with this is it's still kind of too little. One, I think a lot of people were really hoping that this 20% charge would go up to 30%. Again, 30% is definitely a much nicer, higher number, obviously, but it also is something that has a tendency to work pretty well in the quick compositions, as a lot of quick units have a tendency to refund all the way back to 50%, or just like 20%, 25%, something like that. So having a 30% charge can help kind of break that up and give you a little bit of an extra charge boost there without necessarily having to use yet another 50% charge skill from one of the meta supports. So people were maybe hoping, hey, maybe this would turn her into a 30%, a third charger that could do like 30%. But realistically speaking, she's not going to beat Nero Bride for something like that. So I don't think that's really a good solution even of itself. Now, maybe if she had done 30% party-wide, that might be a lot better. The issue, though, again, as we've denoted, is so much of her ability to buff is locked behind the Noble Phantasm that Osakabehime actually needs a way to get consistently to her Noble Phantasm in a party environment. And realistically speaking, with Quick, she doesn't have that right now. So to me, that's something I think I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen maybe an additional effect here of like charge per turn or something like that. They don't necessarily have to give her a self-charge, but I think that certainly would have been a decent thing. Maybe for like a challenge environment that might be broken, but this is kind of a problem of the dev zone making. They've made a unit that is simultaneously really good for single like solo performance challenges and not so great in a party environment without some extreme amount of help. So to me, this is something they've really got to try and address. This is a okay buff. Again, it does improve her performance in a party environment, but I'm still not going to really take her all that often. It's really going to rely on, I don't know, maybe some sort of scenario where like the support casters are not a good option. But even nowadays, we still have things like, again, like Ruler Scotty and other supports that are now in the extra class. So they're not as easily exploited as maybe just your typical meta support caster would be. So I don't know. I'm not really sure in that regard about like what it is that the devs should do. I just know that Osakabehime needs a better way in a party environment to get to that Noble Phantasm so that she can help heal and protect the party and buff the party a little bit more. I do think this is something that's going to benefit her long term if they do it, but I think a little bit the devs are kind of just trying to play whack-a-mole and put out like one fire at a time and not really having, again, a clear vision for what they want to do with her. And this is sort of indicated by, again, just the buff to the Noble Phantasm and what they did here. The fact that they started her out as a quick buffer and then they branched it into Buster tells me that the devs themselves were trying to think outside the box and come up with something, but they've kind of made her into this hybrid all over the place unit. So let me know what you guys think. What do you guys feel this buff is best used for? I think it does help in the party environment, might help in this sort of like multiple damage dealer types of setups. And maybe that's what they're intending is some sort of knockdown, drag out composition rather than some sort of like 3-turn or like really efficient charging solution. Maybe they want this for a little bit more of carting and, again, buff removal and like really just kind of debilitating a enemy over time. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting buff. I think it has the potential to be strong, but I think she probably could still use yet another buff, unfortunately. So let me know what you guys think. I'll be curious to hear you guys' thoughts, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Later. Okay. Quick needs a good shuffler. Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because we talked about like the solutions for quick all the time being like crit, right? And like, oh hey, maybe you crit down a wave. But they have a real problem on their hands because like they have like Seal in the game now, and obviously like Buntori is a thing already, and we have the Mage Association Mystic Code. So like the more shuffles they put into the game, the more consistent carding gets, or rather the more like second chances it gets. And then they start like really kind of threatening themselves into, oh crap, like what do we do now? We've made this like too strong, and now people are just like carding everything to death. They're not using Noble Phantasms anymore. So it's like a weird balancing act they kind of got to do. Good job, Bossman. Yeah. And the Hakunos, yeah. Caster Scotty is still a much better unit. Yep. And that's like, I think they don't have the clear vision for her. I think a lot of people think Osakabehime is just bad, whereas Osakabehime actually does have some real potential here, but it really kind of relies on them. And you can see, right? Selfish, buffed, party. This one's still selfish. Well, kind of, right? Like, so I think that's what the devs are trying to do. They're trying to get Osakabehime out of this, hey, I'm a solo act, and move her into the party. But it's like, yeah, she's still not really that good for party-wide buffing. Like, so I don't know. The 4-star from Samurai Remnant's better? Yep. Like, it feels like they can't make up their mind with her. I kind of agree. Like, I think they want to move her more to the party, but they're not sure, like, how to do it, and it just not, like, emulate some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like some sort of other meta support, right? So I think, like, they're having issues at this point. And because of that, because they lack that sort of clear vision, they're not really, like, I guess they're not really like nailing what they need to do. As a solo artist, is Oki good for Grail fronts? I've never used her for that. Yeah, I mean, like, so the big problem that she has, right? Like I said, is like if you were to divide this in half, like half of her kit is like locked into her NP, and half of her kit is locked into her skills. And you probably are like, oh, well, this is like every unit can. Yeah, but it's like so much. Like I would honestly tell you the Noble Phantasm, either in some cases is like almost all of a unit's kit, or not at all. Also, hello Aurelia. You're backing that thing up. So like in her case, she really needs to be able to get to her NP, and that's why like taking her into a solo environment where she can just mighty chain with this 4-hit quick card is like really fucking good. So she can actually like, yeah, she can solo and just kind of like sit there and looping the NP, but that is something you'd have to do, is you would have to like fire off her NP. And since her NP is a quick card, you can combo off the back of it again with like Arts and Buster. So you could use that to great effect. You could get like a ton of stars there and everything. And that buff here for the second skill, again, making it party wide, not going to be as useful for a Grail front. But again, this is still a star generation skill, and she still has a crit damage skill in here. So yeah, she can actually do pretty decent. But I think it's like when you put her into the party composition, she struggles way more at actually like being able to get back to an NP. Hello, Nemo. And hello, Alice. How you doing? But yeah, she could be really good for Grail fronts. I think the biggest issue that she's going to have, she just doesn't have an actual like hard defense in here. So if somebody like NP nukes her, she's in trouble. But she does have enough. She does have enough like actual defense to be able to like tank hits. She's not going to be able to tank an NP. That's going to be the big problem. It's just Alice, not Mahoyo inspired. It's all good. But yeah, she does have, I feel like, an identity crisis, because what she's best at is not what the devs want her to do. And so they're going in like two different directions. But frankly speaking, what she's best at is the dev's own fault. They've done that to themselves and they've kind of forced it. So it just is what it is. Try to see, like, do we? I don't think they have it up. Yeah, they still haven't updated the actual banners. Or make her less reliant on it. Yeah. I mean, the problem is they make her less reliant on it. Then when she does get to it, then like, again, like you're saying, like buff the skills, right? So it's like, then she's actually kind of cracked, right? So I think it's like, yeah, she just needs that more consistent way to get to it. But it's rough because anything you do naturally just makes her stronger in a solo environment. So it's like if you give her charge per turn, if you give her just straight self-charge, either of those two things is going to be like, oh, wow, what are you doing? So it's like, I don't know. I don't. Again, it's a weird problem. The devs have like kind of kicked this one around, I think, a little bit too long. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. So here's the actual schedule. So, chat, you are here. Like I said, I would love Lartoria to get a buff. She absolutely could use it. NP interludes, what I'd really hope for. But I could also accept another skill upgrade depending on what it is. So, like, again, someone in chat brought up, like, hey, a 60% buff to, like, her charge skill. In a weird way, that works. Kind of wonky. I'm not the hugest fan of that being the adjustment, but, I mean, it would make it work better in the current meta. So I can't get too upset over that. It looks like each one of these is 3 days. Well, I don't even know it's 3. It spans the gap here. It's definitely not going to be a buff, I don't think, to I mean, well, yes they could, but it would have to be like almost on the damage side, because that's really the only thing that Marie Alter is actually deficient in. Marie Alter's kit's really good. Her damage is a little bit low, but she's definitely a like really good like looper. So I don't think that they really need to adjust her. It's just, you know, like maybe some people are gonna feel the need for like her to get an adjustment. We'll see what the devs do. But to me, out of these two, yeah, it absolutely needs to be Cats. Cats is, oh my god, Cats needs an NP interlude. Like, it's so sad because she used to be one of the strongest single target riders in the game. She paired up against Ozzy. They were pretty much neck and neck in terms of their damage. Like, I shit you not, raw damage numbers with only their own buffs used, they were within like 60 damage of each other. It was wild, right? And then they both got an upgrade. They were still kind of in relative parity. And then Ozzy got another upgrade that was an NP interlude. So that's what she needs. She needs that NP interlude, and then she'll kind of reach parity with Ozzy again. And I think that's where she needs to be. I think it's better for her to be there, because right now she feels forgotten about, and I feel so sorry for her in that regard. Like, Cats is a great character and a great unit, and she really feels just left behind. I could say that both of these units need a buff, but since Seat and I did kind of recently get one, we all know who it needs to be. We all know who it needs to be. So it needs to be one of her skills. As I've mentioned before on this, like, Artemis just probably needs like 3 turn durations and some sort of ability to consistently get back to another NP, because her one-shot damage is not bad. Everybody always makes the mistake of saying that, oh, Urael's a better unit than her. And then they extrapolate that into Urael deals more damage than Artemis. That is not true. She does not deal more damage. She's just way more consistent and deals almost as good of damage. So therefore, yeah, you can kind of like make her work easier. And she's also a 3-star who's free. So at that point, a lot of people just preferred Urael as the easier go-to solution. Artemis needs something to kind of combat that. Because while she does have a really decent NP gain rate, she's got a 1-hit NP and basically... Sorry, no, she has a 1-hit arts card, not a 1-hit NP. And really just like not any ability to actually get back to another noble phantom. She doesn't have any charge. Most of her buffs are single turn duration. So to me, they really need to probably take a look at it. It probably needs to be the anti-mail damage. It needs to go to like 3 turns or something, and then add some additional effect. Maybe like, I don't know. Shit, they could do like an arts up, but I don't think they need to do that because that's going to improve damage. So it probably needs to be, again, something like charge per turn or just a straight charge skill. And that would definitely help her out. Looking at both of these, honestly, both these are pretty okay right now. And both of them have kind of received a buff. I believe in the last year, both of them have received a buff. It may be a little bit longer than that, but I think both of these, Bradamante and Anastasia, don't necessarily need one. They're kind of okay for right now. I think the argument can be made that like Bradamante needs one because Millicent exists, and I think the argument can be made that like Anastasia needs one because again like Ace Clash Tonalico exists and Tiamat. So it's like it is what it is, but I don't think it's like it's dire for either of these two. Like Anastasia finally did get the attention that she needed. All right. Yeah, this is Cope, but same thing. Like both of these are kind of okay. I think out of these, Scheherazad's in the arguably worst state. But it's mostly because while Shez is a Black Grail looper and does have quite a bit of decent like utility baked into her kit, it's somewhat of a like rare utility and it's not entirely necessary. And the damage, even with Black Grail capability, is not altogether that good. So I think she's better than she used to be, but I think she is still maybe a little bit behind. Again, I'm not sure it's dire, but I'd be okay if they wanted to buff some aspect of her. San Zhang's absolutely phenomenal as a single target caster. She absolutely doesn't need a buff until you mention the name Melt. Then that goes a little bit more oof. But that's just because again, Melt is just redonkulous. I don't think Melt is as bad as a Tiamat situation, but Melt's kind of bad at this point. Like, and I don't mean like bad in terms of like her performance is bad. I mean bad in terms of like the effect that she's having on all the other cavalry units, all the other single target cavalry units is kind of bad. Yeah, that doesn't need a buff. The only argument for Atalanta to get yet another buff would be because Salter exists. Drake also doesn't need another buff. I think the only argument is Tiamat exists. Sorry, did I say Atalanta? Altera, my bad. I know one of you queued this up because I know what's next. Needle Altar's not bad. I think like maybe they could enhance like the damage a little bit, but I think like we have this just like really hard argument, and because like Nito Altar does have the 100% charge and does still have the death proc that her caster form does, I kind of don't want to see her buffed because it's terrifying if they do. That being said, I love Nito Altar and her design, so absolutely with my bias take here, I'm gonna say buffer. Just make her better, just for me. But Galatea is an issue because what she probably needs is that NP interlude. But if you give her that NP interlude, then she's better than Vlad. And then because she's better than Vlad, everyone begins to declare that Vlad's dead. And then everyone begins to declare that Vlad needs a buff. And the cycle just continues. So it's like, I don't know. They can do it if they want, but I'm not going to say it's like a Dire Straits thing. Honestly, I wouldn't mind Vitra getting something at this point. Vitra's actually pretty decent, at least in terms of like what her niche is and how it operates. The only thing she's really left behind then at this point is damage, and that's just again because like a lot of the quick lancers got NP interludes, and your Buster lancers are still relatively in a good spot, other than maybe Lartoria. So realistically speaking, any pressure being applied on her is mostly from Melisson at this point, rather than anything else. But I think they give her a damage upgrade. Tamamo is a difficult one, because if you want to buff Tamamo, you have to consider like the impact it's going to have not just on Tamamo, but on any composition that you run Tamamo in. Because naturally, Tamamo at this point has been relegated more to CQ type of stuff, less for farming. I've heard a lot of people, obviously Tamamo fans that are kind of upset about this. However, I am going to say that this was always her niche, and using her in farming was kind of like something you could really only get away with if the arts unit was a good enough looper. So in the case of like Surfmo and stuff back in the day, yeah, you could Tamamo loop with it and it worked. But most of the original arts units did not work in that capacity. So to me, she's always been a little bit more of a challenge unit. People said then, okay, Castoria came into the game. Now Tamamo's dead. And like no one can use her. This was not true, because Castoria's biggest demerit is Castoria doesn't heal. So that was something that Tamamo did. To me, the actual big thing that hurt Tamamo more than anything else was Proto Merlin. Yeah, most people don't realize that, but Tamamo, I have not used Tamamo nearly as much since I've had Proto Merlin. That has been the bigger deal. And to me, there's still advantages to using Proto and advantages to using Tamamo. You usually want to use Tamamo when the strength of the carry lies in the DPS, and therefore you're just going to sit there and constantly reduce cooldowns and keep that firing on all cylinders. You're going to want to use Proto when, oh shit, you need an actual hard invuln to keep us alive through things, and maybe the max HP is of a greater benefit than the raw healing potential that Tamamo can grant. So to me, I think that's probably the better way. Yeah, it is probably the skill 2 is what I would adjust, though to be fair, it is the only thing that can be adjusted that hasn't already had a buff. So it is what it is. I think one of the ways that you could do this is you could maybe say, all right, kind of like how her morph skill has, I believe it's, and someone can correct me in chat if I'm wrong, but I believe it is a single turn of 30% up and 20% defense up for 3 turns is the way that her morph skill works. And what they could do is they could maybe make this 20% skill party wide, and then that would give the party a little bit more defense to kind of like take some blows. Already having a buff doesn't mean nuts nowadays. Yeah, I know. It's just like I think I would like to see a little bit more like party utility and less like, hey, let's make Tamamo like individually stronger. Both are 30? Okay. There you go. So I'm sorry about that. I'd say give her a targetable 30% battery. She really doesn't need it because she does have charge. Like a lot of people go like, oh, Tamamo doesn't have charge, this is her deficiency. And then everyone forgets that Tamamo has an NP that gives charge. And reduces skill cooldowns. And you're definitely going to try and use it if you can. I'd maybe be a little bit more okay with it if it's self-charge only. But even then, that's still spicy. Because like, again, chat, you have seen me run double Tamamo with MLB Prisma Cosmos and a Squirtoria and NP 11 turns in a row. And I could have made it go longer. So it's not like Tamamo's a bad unit at all. The only issue is that, yeah, maybe like Proto Merlin is biting into that like arts niche, right? They just need a way for like Tamamo to stand out a little bit better with respect to Proto Merlin. It's not a Castoria issue like most people claim. Because a lot of the times, like I said, you like who the other support is that you're running in a Tamamo comp is probably a Castoria. So that is the thing. Ideally, party-wide charge. She does. She has that. It's on her NP. I could have impeded more, but everyone died. Pretty much. And one of those, it was funny because I don't remember exactly when it was. Was it Epic of Remnant that I did that? No. No, it was the Saber Wars 2 challenges. It was the Saber Wars 2 challenges. And one of them had a Lancer in it. And I didn't care. And I still used Squirtoria. And we did Squirtoria over all of them. That was the gimmick that I did that time. What about Overcharge? Overcharge is an interesting one. However, again, like, I've already seen people like criticizing and saying they're now slapping Overcharge and everything. And I'm like, good. Who cares? There's not a problem with that. Make everyone's Overcharge stronger. So, like, yeah, if they want to do that with Tamamo, I think that's a decent one. And that would at least kind of make sense given Korean Sky of Dark and her having Overcharge. So Dark rounds, yeah, but it wasn't just the dark rounds. It was all of those shadow fights we did with Squirtoria. There's at least a bunch of CQs where that extra boost would have made a big difference over Castoria or Proto. Wait, what extra boost? You mean like the overcharge? Damage boost to Mamo giving more in general? I don't think that's the solution, because a lot of people forget Tamamo does 50% darts up and 30% NP damage. Like, that's a lot in modifiers from one unit. On top of, like, everything else she does. And a little bit, the overcharge would also, if we did an overcharge as a buff, this would help her, again, combat a little bit of what Proto does. Because Proto also has a overcharge. That's a lot of market. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were advocating for her to get more, and I was like, I don't know, right? Like, just PTSD from that? Yeah. 20% attack up, party, and her skill too. Yeah, I don't think I do that. That's why also giving her a party charge via skills isn't the way to go, Imo. Yeah, I think people just want Tamamo to be stronger, but they're not. So, like, hear me out, chat. And this is part of the reason why I usually predict buffs really well. I would not have predicted the Osakabehime buff, full disclaimer, because that's not what I would have done with Osakabehime. But I now see what the devs are going for with that. But a little bit, like, they and actually, hold on, let me send this to Okayist. But I think a lot of people lose sight of what the creative vision for the character is, and they just want the character to be stronger. But the devs usually have a creative vision, and I know this. I absolutely know this. Because you can see what they're trying to do with certain units. And so that's usually what I look for, and that's usually how I'm able to predict certain buffs, right? Because the devs have a goal in mind for what that unit is supposed to be, and a lot of the buffs keep it in that line. So, to me, if they just run right across the board and start buffing the damage output that Tamamo gives out, it's going to kind of counteract what she's actually meant to be, which is a cooldown reducer and looper facilitator. That is really what she's after. I think if they want to keep her in that challenge sphere, part of the way to do that is, again, like, basically enhancing her party utility, but I wouldn't necessarily go the damage route, because the damage route is already covered by the other two art supports. And she is still already the highest of those three. So if you look at, like, Castoria, if you look at Proto Merlin, literally Tamamo boosts damage the most already. The only exceptions to this are if the overcharge effect from Proto Merlin is better for the unit, or if it's threat against humanity for Castoria, or you use Castoria's NP, right? So to me, I don't think that's the way to go. I think the better way is to actually increase the amount of protection that Tamamo provides, because that is actually Tamamo's biggest weakness. And the cool part about this is if you go the defense route, right? If you go party-wide defense, everybody takes less damage. This makes her healing more effective. And this also functions perfectly well and synergistic with Castoria. Because what that's going to allow you to do then is Castoria can NP, protect the entire party from a Noble Phantasm. And then in the meantime, while they're trying to beat you to death in the interim turns, Tamamo's protecting you more. So I think that's actually probably the way I would do it. I would do it in the way to make it so that, yes, this is now a more consistently pull-offable thing. Because the thing that I've noticed, and chat, you can absolutely tell me if you think this is wrong, but my experience shows this. My issue with using Tamamo over time is I get beaten to death. That is usually what happens. It's not necessarily like an NP that kills me. It's the enemy wins the war of attrition, because I can't usually sit there and heal enough to outpace them. So I think defense is the way to go in that regard. Defense will stop that from happening as much. And that will make Tamamo both a stronger unit, and it will make her more effective and literally a better option compared to, again, the occasional like Proto Merlin. 100% death by paper cuts. Yep. Come to me, my Merlin. Yeah. But so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at what they're trying to do already with Tamamo's design, rather than, hey, let's just steal the things that the other supports have. I think that is the better solution. And it doesn't necessarily have to stop there. You maybe could do something more. But again, I think like they have to be careful with a unit like Tamamo, because it's a force multiplier, and anything that they do could just immediately spiral out of control and go insane. Okay, I'm going to see if I can send this to you direct, Okayist, but I don't know if I can. Oh, mega lol. I think my Discord cap is 200 megs, and this video is 199. So I think that is somehow just barely enough. If the quality's bad, I can upload it to Google Docs. Leave it for later, yeah. Tamomo's NP and Fate Extra Link provided mana regen, and was faced as the enemy made the enemy's invuln. But that was a Muso game. Yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely something they could think of. So I don't know. Like maybe there's something they could do with it. But I've learned with Tamamo, you can get Tamamo's MP rolling really fast, particularly if you have another support there. So either another Tamamo or a Castoria or something like that could provide charge. So Tamamo number 1 is going to sit there and reduce the cooldowns on the like other support. And then that's going to help them power Tamamo back to another NP. And then the cycle just keeps like, it's synergistic. It just keeps going. So they have to be really careful, because anything that they do to boost Tamamo just increases the speed that this cycle occurs at. So it's like really, 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 really like something that they need to be cautious of. Because like I said, I ran that like double Prisma Cosmos on double Tamamo is just like, and you get an NP, and you get an NP, and you get an NP, and you get an NP. And it just, like, I basically NP'd every turn. It was just disgustingly good. And then you could do Tamamo waiver comps for insanely high defense. Yeah, and honestly, I don't think that's that crazy. Like bring that back. I think a little bit defense is dead in the game at the moment due to Castoria, but I think if you could make it a little bit more of a consistent thing, and then all you needed to block was the Noble Phantasm, that would help. Because I do think part of the way that the devs have resolved things over time is they started jacking up the attack power on a lot of like enemies. So you'll see enemies that now have like 17k attack power and crap like that. It's just freaking ridiculous. And they'll roll right through you and just like, oh man, like I carded you, and it's like they Thanos snapped you out of existence. So it's like, I think having more defense will help counteract crap like that. They can't accept that she wants a different playstyle that's not 3-turn charge support. I do think that's it too. I think a lot of people really want Tamamo to be like meta farmer, and I'm like, you can still use her in certain farm comps because she does have 3-turn buff durations. It's just, yeah, usually the unit needs to be a fairly good looper so that they don't need refund. Sorry, they rely entirely on refund. They don't need charge, so that she can kind of get the job done that way. And it's like, yeah, I think people want that, but I don't think it's necessarily like something that they have to do. You can see them touch on Marie Alter here during the event, given she appeared in it. Her main issue is her damage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think Marie Alter necessarily needs it, but I wouldn't be surprised they did it just because she's relevant. Were there more? Oh god, there's more I didn't even cover. All right, chat. It needs a buff. It needs a buff. And I think she needs a buster up of 3 turns. This is cheating. So this is actually not what I would have expected them to do, but we at least, like, we had like a leak from one of their test servers that shows Artoria's charisma as now another mana burst. And it's like, oh, I can guarantee you it's probably a 3-turn mana burst is why. And it's like, I don't think it'd be that broken as long as they kept it small, but like... that Buster icon, yeah. No, honestly, like, I don't think it's insane to buff Saber. I really don't. Like, I've seen people be like, no, you're crazy, people need it. Most people don't realize Saber's still really good in damage. Saber's actually, like, in the lower echelon now of AoE Sabers. Even though she's pretty cracked, and when she got her buff, she was at the top. So many other units have been buffed past her now. So she's actually like somebody that it's like, yeah, she could get a buff and it wouldn't break things. Where do I begin? Literally her other 2 skills need upgrades. And frankly, she also needs an upgrade to the other half of her NP. And when I say the other half of her NP, because the NP interlude she originally got was only half an interlude. It didn't actually affect the scalability of the interlude at all, which almost every other interlude does. So they actually, while the original NP interlude they gave for John was really good, it kind of needs something else. And so I hope they kind of revisit this, because John needs to be better. She's really difficult to use. It's the same sort of problem as like, well, why would you run John when you have Castoria? Castoria is just way more offensive. They've kind of dealt with that with the second skill at least, but the first and the third skills definitely need some attention. They're just extremely bland year 1 skills, and they are just utter dog trash. For skill 3 is ass. Yep. Yeah. Needs to be a lot better. Kashin Koji. Ooh, what do I have to say about Kashin? She needs an upgrade. It's not like imperatively bad, but frankly speaking, I'm not that impressed by Kashin. She's going to be coming up with our lotto this year, and that's not going to be too far. Hey, Avalon. But yeah, her refund's just really, really awful. So like, getting her to actually loop is, I'm not gonna say you can't do it. You can. It doesn't work very well, and you pretty much have to like sell out to do it. So it's like, yeah, I think they really need to revisit her and give her some kind of love, because honestly, I don't really see her very often on JP. I think she's one of the like lesser rolled units at this point. Nightingale. I gotta be honest, I think Nightingale is a little bit in the same situation of Osakabehime. As a whole, this unit is not a bad unit, but this unit is so outshined in so many of the like conventional uses for units that I really just don't see her being a good option most of the time unless somehow the node is very like anti-Castoria, anti like any sort of survivability other than being able to debuff the enemy. Her primary uses at this point, she's been relegated to a 50% buster stat stick with a three-turn debuff immunity, and it's like that. Those have their uses; they can be really nice, but to me, they really probably got to look at that. Is it the second skill, chat? That's the anti-human. Wait, is it human? God, it's been forever since I've looked at her kit. Let's go look. Humanoid. There you go. Yeah, it's like humanoid's not bad. But this, well, it's like, oh, 50% extra damage against humanoids. That's fine, but it's just herself. This probably, honestly, this probably needs to be party wide. I've had people tell me I'm crazy for saying this, but it probably needs to be party wide. And the reason why is because I just don't see her getting used otherwise. I don't think so. It's too selfish of a skill. And frankly speaking, the 25% humanoid defense, while it is something, is nothing on a berserker unless you fired off her NP to reduce all enemies' attack by 50% for a singular turn. So it's like, yeah, you might be able to live, but dear God, if something focuses her, she's dead. And if that thing is not humanoid, she's automatically dead. So it's like, it's really rough. She really relies on that attack down, and to me, that's kind of an archaic way of doing things at this point. It's very much out of the meta. So I'd rather see this become like some sort of party-wide effect than as we have the effects from the third skill. She would at least be able to find her way into certain compositions because of that, and could be potentially useful in like one-shot raid comps and stuff like that. But honestly, yeah, I struggle to think of like a good way to deal with her. Jack needs the other half of her NP interlude. Mordred needs nothing. Mordred's actually perfectly fine. Out of every unit that we've reviewed so far, Mordred's the most fine so far. All right, Avalon, you're the Janako expert. What do you want to see for Janako? I struggle with Janako because I think Janako is one of those, like, she's just sort of an all-rounder. She doesn't really excel at anything. I think the biggest thing that she excels at now is that lawful niche, but like outside of that, yeah, I really don't see it. So as Mo is below Saber, Mo is actually higher than Saber. Fun fact. You want to give her something selfish than maybe an MP upgrade? Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's a terrible idea. I think like this has always kind of been her biggest issue, is that like prior to the lawful niche, her only claim to fame was that she was permanent, and like that's not a good claim to fame, right? So yeah, I think it's like give her a little bit of damage, let her actually operate on her own. She probably could use it. Janako is at least really good in her niche IMO. Janako is very difficult to kill. That is her strongest thing. And people go like, oh, well, that makes her really good at challenge. And I'm like, while that is true, if I want somebody that protects the party, there are way better options than Janako. And if I want somebody that's a better soloer, there are way better options than Janako. So it's like, I think she's in like a weird spot in that regard. And I think it's like, yeah, they just need to make her actually like compete with some of the other rune cancers. But we'll see. No. That's only while I'm rolling. Only while I'm rolling. Dioscuri, I like hesitate to do it, but Dioscuri could probably use a buff. The reason I hesitate to do it is because like there's still some other sabers out there that kind of need some attention, but I don't know, they're permanent. It's kind of a similar situation to Janako, and they're not bad. I actually think they're really good. They have Invul and Pierce on every NP, so that's just naturally going to be a solid thing to have. But at this point, they're honest to God, they're outpaced by the Trung sisters and basically Benny Enma. So like, I don't really see what value they provide other than their permanence at the moment. Yeah, Europa basically doesn't need one right now. I did skip over her. Like, I guess you could give her something, but it's not like terrible. Lohi's definitely not going to get one. Actually, I'm surprised Lohi's in here, but Lohi is permanent, so it does make sense. And then, yeah, that's the end of it. Wait, Dioscuri just got a buff recently. Did Dioscuri get a buff recently? They did. Yeah, they give them the charge. Yeah, that's actually nice because like that makes things a little bit more consistent. Dioscuri is always famed for their effects on their cards, and this does make them pretty good if you can like loop them back with their cards. But if you don't get their cards, it's kind of oof. This does make them more consistent. I did like this, but yeah, at this point, I think it's like the damage is now the issue for them. Because again, like, look at this. Ignores invincibility and then deals damage that ignores defense. You're not stopping Dioscuri. That is definitely their main, like, claim to fame. A skill 2 buff, if anything. I mean, you could make it 3 turns, but oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I wouldn't necessarily do that. That'd be really strong. With the skill 3 buff by not changing the dodge from turn to times. Yeah, I think they knew that like Dioscuri was relatively difficult to stop, and I think they didn't want to make them unkillable in that regard. So I don't really blame them. I think there's definitely an issue if they try to like go a little bit too much into that. A laundry list of passes? Yeah. It's funny because then you see people, it's like they just have magic resistance. And I would love to be a fly on the wall of the single developers when they're deciding who gets what passive, right? Because like some of them are based off their class, that's fine. But like others, it feels like they chose to do nothing. And it's rare, but we do even see it with newer units sometimes. Mainly used as a buffer for a niche, yeah. Could you buff block Dioscuri before they NP to put a stop to them? Pretty much. That'd be the only way. You have to stop them from getting the Invuln Pierce, but they will still, even with buff block, they will still just deal damage that ignores defense. That's not a buff they receive. It was really odd. I was surprised because it's like, oh, a return to like the old times, a return to normalcy. Actually, we still don't have Komachi's. Do we have Komachi's third ascension finally? Nope, still not. Chat, I don't want to spoil or anything like that, but I did talk to Trubs because there was a lot of theories that Komachi and the man that like she had might have something to do with what's his face with Abe no Seimei, but it's not Abe no Seimei. I just want to clarify that. Because that was another like oh my god, it's happening, and it's like, no, it's not. Is it gonna be Monday? It could be. If they make her Abe no Seimei, that'd be one of the most disappointing units ever. I wouldn't say it'd be a disappointing unit. She's still a really good unit for what she is, but it would be disappointing if Abe no Seimei comes in and he's not like some sort of meta support, because Abe no Seimei is like lore-wise the equivalent of like Japan's Merlin. Like he is the Onmyoji. So it's like I don't know what you do at that point, right? Like if you bring him in and he's kind of like some subpar thing, or he's not what you expected, I think they would upset a lot of the fans. Would be disappointing, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like he's got to be his own thing. Now, that being said, there may be like a part of Abe no Seimei at play here. Like Trump's been talking about this for a while, but they're kind of like clearing the way for Abe no Seimei. They're like kind of unlocking parts, and it's not something they're explicitly stating. It's just the lore experts are kind of like looking at that and going like, okay, now that this is in place, this can happen, and once that happens, then this can happen, and once that happens, boom, Abe no Seimei. So it's like that people are kind of like connecting the dots and realizing that they are sort of like allowing for it to happen, but who knows when they'll actually pull the trigger, because they're definitely doing a lot of setup. This guy paired with Kamachi related to Minnie in her story in some way. That I don't know. I have heard from Trubs who it is, but I didn't get the like lowdown completely on it. Because again, like part of it is like I don't want to spoil myself. So it's like I believe she calls the character father, but I don't think it's necessarily her exact father. Still waiting for Wukong. What do you mean? You have Wukong. Didn't you play the Journey to the West of it? It's just red hair. That's all it is. Cad, you rock, but that was so vague for my dumbass. No, that's fine. Like I purposely tried to keep it vague, right? What was the hardest old event from like year 1 to year 4? I don't know about hardest, but like most people would tell you that there were a couple of really annoying early events. Most people would tell you the Moon Goddess event. The Moon Goddess event was 5 AP, but it was a really simplistic, straightforward event. So the annoyance was that it was 5 AP, but there was no difficulty to it. A lot of people would tell you Summer 1, because Summer 1 had a like mechanic where you needed to go in and use the right units for the node. The first part of Summer 1 was really easy, and the units paired up very synergistically with the nodes. The second part, it was like Satan designed the pair ups, and it was the complete polar opposite, and in some cases you had to take a counter class into the node, and it was really bad. For me personally, the worst event that has ever existed in the history of FGO, still to this day, is the original Valentine's Day event. And everybody has purged it from their memory, and nobody wants to remember. Why? Allow me. I'm so glad you asked that question, gentle and noble chatter. Let us take back a trip through time. Let us go back to February of 2016, and behold, if this is somehow triggering PTSD in you just from seeing this picture, you know. Okay, so let's start out. First of all, there was a coin mechanic. And if memory serves me, fandom doesn't even do this justice. So basically the way it worked is, let me see. Yeah, you needed the coins, I believe, to unlock the Valentine Cs for everything, and you had to run very specific You had to run very specific compositions of like units in order to get it done. So okay, so here you go. Here's the appearance rate up. Each day started at 0100 or 0000 JST and went to 1200 JST. And basically, as you guys can see, you operated in these two 12-hour brackets. Okay, so on February 11th, the first day of the event, you had riders for the first 12 hours. And then assassins for the second 12 hours. This means that you had to play during specific times of day, or you couldn't farm certain coins. On top of that, in order to get the rider coins, you had to take riders to the node, which meant you were taking neutral enemies to the node at best. This made things really freaking annoying and slow in a lot of cases. Making matters worse, remember that whole discussion about having to farm during certain times of day? Yeah, this was kind of important because only once during the entire event did Berserkers ever have a raid up. Every single other one at least had 2 times, some of them 3, like in the case of Riders here. I have no idea why, but this was just a really, really shitty thing. Now, if you think that was bad, just wait, it gets worse. So, as we already mentioned, you had to do this to farm out the coins in order to purchase the CEs. But, and again, you can see each one cost 150, and it's not like those nodes dropped a shit ton. Thankfully, back then, you can see there were only 153 possible units in the game at launch. So it was a lot better. We didn't have so many to farm out, but it was still kind of difficult trying to get them all. Now, the event shop also went even worse because you had this CE called Melty Sweetheart. Melty Sweetheart is actually not like that bad of a CE, but the grand scheme of things, what this did is this enhanced your coin drop bonus. So you wanted to take Melty Sweetheart. How did you get Melty Sweetheart? You bought it from the shop. How did you buy it from the shop? Well, there were 4 in the shop. But you'll also denote something that has not really ever occurred ever again since this event. You see, with every version of Melty Sweetheart that you bought, the next copy became more expensive. So much so that it was deemed that it was only efficient to ever buy 2 of these CEs. The second you tried to buy a third, this was now inefficient and not worth your time. This also, hilariously enough, means that when this event did get a rerun the next year, you still were only efficient enough to buy 2 of them, therefore meaning unless you got a drop or decided to bite the bullet and be inefficient, you only got 4 copies of the CE and were never able to MLB it. It's so fucking stupid. So, it was actually really difficult to get enough chocolate, so not coins, but actual chocolate, to buy out the entire shop. You almost couldn't, and you had to triage this. So most people decided to say, I'm not going to buy all the Melty Sweethearts, and I'm not going to buy all of the pieces, and I'm just going to focus instead on these materials. Is it in the shop now? Yeah, that's why. That's why it's in the shop. Let me see. I feel like there was another thing here. Oh, yes. Yes, the summoning campaign. So this is great because also the way the original Valentine's Day event worked, as you can see, each individual day you were paired up with Nero Bride and one other unit. And again, depending on the pairing, let's say you wanted to roll like Drake here, for instance. Well, guess what? In this, again, let's see. Yeah, in this 9-day event, I think it's actually 10, but like in this 10-day event, if you wanted to roll Drake, you had to wait until Drake's day. And then again, that meant that you didn't have Gacha Craft Essences to help you with the drops for the first like 7 days of the event. So godforsaken if you dare wanted to roll Mordred, congratulations, you had to wait to literally the next to last day of the event, then roll out the craft essences. So basically, the craft essences didn't help you at all in the event. This was such a shitty way to do rolls, and it's why they've kind of adjusted it now. I was blessed to never experience this madness. Yeah. So again, like I said, it's not just like any one of these things is bad. It's all of these things in the same freaking event that's like, I can't believe they did this. This is just such a shit tier event. It's really funny too, because a lot of people also would tell you that Journey to the West was a bad event. Journey to the West was actually not that bad. Most people didn't realize that if you just kept spending your AP down, the way Journey to the West worked, it was a 2-week event. Week number 1 had 1 set of currency. And week number 2 had a 2nd set of currencies. The way the event worked, though, is almost like an exponential graph. So you would farm and farm and farm and farm and farm and farm and boom. And then week number 2 would start with the new currencies, and you would farm and farm and farm and farm and farm and farm and boom. So like the way it kind of worked was there was little to no payoff at first. All the payoff came right towards the end of the week. So most people got to like right here and they were like, oh my God, this is still such a like shit rate. I'm never going to complete the shop for this currency. I'm never going to do it. It was literally the like miner meme, if you've ever seen it, of like the dude on top, like where it's like the guy in the tunnel, and it's like, here's the treasure room over here, right? And it's like the guy just like being sad and dejected and like walking away as he's just like, screw it, I'm leaving. And then like this Giga Chad down here who actually like was literally about to break through the wall. So like Journey to the West was not a bad event. People just didn't understand it. What about a raid event with a special AP currency to run the raid? When you say AP, you mean BP. You mean battle points. Let me see if they actually have it. They got rid of it. It used to be here. By the way, I really like this. So there's a basic game info page on Wikipedia that includes like a lot of this stuff, right? But if you go to the front page, this page doesn't exist. You can't actually navigate to this page normally. You'd have to like find your way to it from like clicking on one of these, which I find really funny. BP is depicted somewhere in here, and I'm trying to remember where the fuck it is. Yeah, thank God they said that the rerun events can only be from like, I think it's like what, like year 5 onward, right? Because so you want the like conspiracy theory for why it's year 5 onward? I'll show you guys. Here's the conspiracy theory for why it's year 5 onward. Is it there? No, sorry, I made the year wrong. Yeah, here. This is your conspiracy theory for why it's year 5 onward. It is purely so that you cannot access this. Because people would immediately demand the statue lotto, and they would immediately use it to obviously like farm out all the statues and then not have to deal with it anymore. The random enemy classes back then was funny for nodes. Dude, people couldn't handle that. I remember making the lotto guide for that, and it was just like, it wasn't that difficult, but people made such a big stink about it. And like that's kind of like, you know, I know we're kind of like a trip down memory lane here, but like people back in like OG FGO days made such a like stink about things that really just didn't matter. It was not that big of a deal. And you would try to like explain it to them, and then they still didn't like, they didn't want to hear it. Like it was kind of like you could lead the horse to water, but you couldn't make it drink. Anger is the best value there, most drops, yeah. So like another example of this, an old time's sake. Oh, I bet I can find it. Oh, there's Journey to the West. Chat, this is actually when I started streaming the game. It's right here. Did they actually they don't have the picture. No. No. Come on, you got to show BP. I need to show everyone my BP gauge. So, this is really funny, by the way, chat. 1 BP restored every 60 minutes. This is the currency that you use to do the raids. Interestingly enough, you have a cap of 6 BP. So the reason everybody hated BP, 1, it hard limited the amount of runs you could do. 2, if you tried to sleep for more than 6 hours, you wasted BP. So most people just really, really, really don't like it. Oh, is it depicted in the... Yes! Here it is, chat. The good old green frickin' bar. And let me see, does it actually have it on... Yeah. Here it is. So you had an extra, like, green bar across the top that filled up. And you can see, so NA never had this problem. NA immediately got 8 BP. Because everybody hated 6 BP. So with NA, they got the quality of life early. This is another one of those quality of life things that like NA got early back in the day that just drastically improved the experience on NA over like JP. But yeah, so like it was such a like rough time. So the reason that I wanted to bring up the Rashomon event, okay, it's because back in the day, and I still remember this, I had to like actually get angry at people on Discord because we had people that would go in to the raid quest, okay, and they would say, "Hey, so this is a raid quest." Oh God, why is this in Japanese? Hold on. There we go. They would go into the raid quest. You had a first wave, a 1 out of 2 battle. It was just some shitty, easy to kill enemies. And then you had wave 2. And the consensus idea was to kill both arms and Ibaraki Doji. And what people were doing is they were choosing not to kill the arms. They were just walking in and one-shotting Ibaraki Doji. When the arms were actually what dropped like the currency for the node. And their justification was that it was, quote, faster. And I had to get on to people and say, like, listen, you can do that if you want. I won't stop you. But we had people on the Discord that were telling people, don't kill the arms. Like, don't do it. And I had to actually put my foot down and said, I don't care if you want to do this, but don't give other people bad advice. Don't tell other people to do, like, stupid, dumbass shit. right? It would be like the equivalent of telling people to just like burn all of their units and stuff like that. It's like, no, there's a point where, hey, this is not optimal. You're actually depriving people of the rewards of farming, and you're limited by the BP anyways. So take the time, kill the harms. And yet, like, you had people trying to go through and do it that way. And I was like, they tried to make all sorts of arguments for it. Again, they said it was faster. And I kept countering with, you get more drops, and you get more master experience, and you get more Mystic Code experience, and more bond. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Right? So it's like, I never understood that. And it's one of those like weird scenarios where like, yeah, you have people in the community that are kind of like bad actors, and they'll just sit there and they'll tell you to do stuff for no other reason than they think it's the best, with no like evidence to back it up at all. Only units you need to summon for the supports, otherwise it's a free for all on what you want to get. Yeah, that's really good advice. Who told you that? Is that it led directly into the next event with Raiko? Ah, yes, Onigashima. Where is it? How did it end up back in 2025? Yeah, so here's Rashomon. Wait, Journey to the West. Hold on, was it in July? Yeah, Onigashima. There's more time in between it, but like story-wise, it linked to it. And Onigashima had a like another raid as well. This is also where Golden Sumo comes from. This is a really, really nice one. And let me see. Thankfully, it was already 8 BP by this event on JP. God, yeah, this is an older way of them denoting it. I was just looking for the raid. Let's go to the... Ah, here it is. So there were like multiple raids in this one. You had to fight the Onis. And then, for the last one, you had to fight a question mark. Ah, here it is. Which was Raiko, a 6 million HP Raiko. Now, y'all gotta understand, 6 million HP was a lot back in the day. Even now, like, we would look at this and we would say, that's a lot. But you had event bonus and you had damage bonus Cs. So, like, it was not that big of a deal. But, yeah, it was still like Nobu was one of the actual, like, really good units to shred her, as you guys already denoted. Because Raiko was divine, which Mao Nobu really likes to... Sorry, not Mao Nobu. OG Nobu really likes to destroy. And Raiko also has the writing niche. So she got... Like, OG Nobu got to double dip into this, and it was like OG Nobu's, like, zenith. It was literally when she was the most useful, by far. And it was a welfare that, like, everybody had, and everybody just waltzed right in there, slapped her around, and did amazing things. I still remember my starting team. Yep. That's the equivalent of, like, a 50 million HP enemy today. Yeah, it's really not that bad, because, like, you had a ton of damage bonus flying around. But that's basically how everybody had to do it. And it was the same thing. You still saw people that were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like not actually kill the stuff." Like, okay, man, you do you. So it was just really, really weird. Also, the Raiko Hot Spring Sea, yeah, was also a thing in this one. I don't know, these old events, like, it brings me back nostalgia because they were jank, they were shit. Our events are much better run nowadays, but like the story in them was really good. and I still have fond memories of like how much the community had to pull together on that stuff. Like a little bit, like the FGO community is so fractured at this point. I feel like it doesn't necessarily have like, I guess, like as clear of like a mandate. Like everybody is kind of like spread out in various like communities and stuff, and it's difficult because everybody has like agendas and chips on their shoulders over everything. So I think like nobody really wants to come together anymore and do stuff. It's kind of sad. I wish we could return back to that, but it's also kind of difficult in the sense of like the game is just now much older and has done a lot of stuff since then. Brought Artoria into Archer nodes since that was all I had back then. Hey, if you had it, you had it. You made it work. Like honestly, it'd be kind of cool if like at some point, like if they ever did like shut down the game, or maybe even just for like novelty, they could just like create a like new server. Just go all the way back. It's like FGO Classic. And like make people experience the shit that like year one was. If you were asked to be on an FGO anime podcast, would you accept? That is a random question. Are you sure it's completely random? It depends. It kind of depends on like timing. Like right now is not a good time for me. But I usually like I would entertain the offer no matter what. I always entertain offers from people. Complete with OG Waver and his giant head? Yes. Yes. OG Waver with none of his charge skills. Like chat, when you say OG Waver, that is what I mean. Like I don't know if chat knows this either, right? So you see how like OG Waver has this extra thing that most other people don't. Yeah, you see this skill, you see how it has charge. You see this skill, you see how it has charge. You see this skill, you see how it has charge. Imagine if it didn't. OG Waver wasn't a 50% charger. He was a 0% charger. He was way worse. Way worse. Thankfully, again, NA never had to see this version. What was the point then? I mean, I guess they just thought he was like a buffer, right? And that they didn't have to like do stuff. But pain, yeah. Getting those pages back in the day was rough. Dude, there was so much rough stuff. So much. Alright, chat. I feel like malding. We'll probably do like the... So I have to work tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do in terms of like stream and stuff. I may stream, I may not. We have D&D this weekend. So that's kind of a thing as well. We'll see. We'll see what I do. But I'd say like stay tuned for a stream tomorrow. And like I think like Monday I'll probably like set about like we'll go sit down. We'll start doing like the CQs and stuff, right? Sorry, Chad. I'm trying to fix this. I see. There we go. CQ is super easy. Good. Glad to hear it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't mind like a tougher CQ as long as like like, I think the issue I have at this point is like coming up with compositions for some of the CQs because of how many effects they have. It's not that I can't like think of like what to do for it. It's that I just sit there and I go like, oh my god, like I need to like compartmentalize this. Oh, nice. I got the Adam Horlock skin. It's definitely a nice skin. I really like it. And then 500 more and I'll be able to unlock Scarlet Witch's skin, which this skin's definitely nice. And then this skin, chat. I'll drop into VIP 3 if anyone wants to play. Again. Ain't gonna kill song request. Steampunk Logan. It's more like Van Helsing Logan, which is hilarious because it's actually like Hugh Jackman played both Van Helsing and Wolverine. Chat, I did get the new outfit. Faders are being a pain to my... Oh, god damn it.
Well, was Bob
if you had said something earlier, I would have I would have not queued and I would have waited on you.
Or villain, I'm not judging.
It's okay, we can get you into the next one.
We are cloak and I'm not the life and
Boy, you call it.
I'm Luna. I'm not the type. We are cloak and dagger.
I'm just gonna lock this in. I had to play with an Adam earlier today that like the Adam. So Adam Warlock's like big thing as a support is that he can resurrect the entire team for a short duration, and where he casts it is where everyone reses, and he cast it literally in a corner in front of the entire enemy team. And I was like, Kat, I was looking at an info they released for Overwatch 15 updates. They're stealing the talent system. Yeah, so the perk system is from Paladins, which just recently closed down. Don't worry, I'm playing with one hand. Oh boy.
Warlock, old buddy.
That's a lot to worry about.
Did you get some work done? I recently emerged from a regenerative cocoon.
We are cloak and dagger.
You know what? Screw it.
After all these years, saving the world still hasn't gotten old.
Here's her new skin, chat.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Goes from Paladins too, yeah. And then they took third person from this game and hero bands from this game, and then they're bringing back their own loot boxes, which I posted a funny meme in VIP the other day of like, have you guys ever seen the breast reduction meme, where it's like the girlfriend on the table getting her breasts reduced, having the surgery, and like the boyfriend is like supporting her, looking over her, saying like you'll be okay, and then she wakes up from the surgery and is like looking for her boyfriend, and the
No, I was at the Adam Warlock.
sorry, she's like looking for her boyfriend. Oh damn. Sorry, I'm not super focused on healing. I'm more focused on staying alive.
Don't worry, I'm still on my Oh, Wolverine stole me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That man. Yeah, I don't know what that Wolverine's doing. The Wolverine kidnapped me and then he brought me back to my net.
It's much better. A little help, please.
Oh my god. So like, yeah, she's like looking for the boyfriend, and the like, she's like, where is he? And the doctor goes like, who do you think took your breasts? And so it's that meme, because like she looks over at the table and she sees the boyfriend with it. God damn it, Jeff. Still a Jeff behind us.
Another fearsome foe.
Yeah.
We did it, spiders.
Get your nest down if you can in the point.
Oh, in the point. I got you.
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, she looks over, she sees the dude, and she screams no. And people were memeing that it's like, oh, it's League of Legends getting the breast reduction surgery, aka they're losing their chest.
Beholds the god of thunder!
Oh my God.
Talk to my west. That's crazy.
That's super weird, because I didn't even see Thor's thing. And then I just ended up like right on top of him. Yeah, so they're losing their Hextech chests in League. And then they're like, oh, who took your chest? Who do you think? And it's like the boyfriend, and it's Overwatch. Overwatch is getting the chest back. Because they're getting their loot boxes back, and it's freaking hilarious, because everyone was saying like, oh, this battle pass is somehow actually scummier than the loot boxes. So you can hear like the sound effects have changed. They're like piano keys.
Oh my God, the ball ring took me off the edge.
Yeah, you gonna dunk on me, you dumb shit? Missed. Okay, that dude, like, just him touching me in the middle of the air somehow made it so that I couldn't complete the jump, and then died.
I'll fight for my family until the end.
This is just not working. I have to go. Oh, what is? Oh, okay, the match or something. I was like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't let me switch. The art is glorious from it. Yeah. They're removing them. Yeah, like League is removing all of their free chests, and it's hilarious because they literally said the reason that they're doing it is because they found out that players were grinding their game free to play.
Wow,
It's like, so you're just admitting you're greedy assholes. Like there's no other reason for them to remove the chest. That is their stated reason. Is we didn't like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But is it cool if I do it anyway? It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, so I heard they're adding like a stadium mode. Is that actually like PvE?
3, 2, 1.
Because someone, one of the streamers I was watching, he was describing it as like sort of like Deadlock. So at that point, I assumed it was like a MOBA style. It's PvP. Okay.
Oh boy, here they come. 2 points. Do this.
Bro gets picked before we even can get to the point. Impressive.
Mission area is yours to capture now. You owe me one.
And there you go. We make an adjustment, and now we kick their asses.
Mission area is
Of course, the Star-Lord got back that fast.
Yes, one down.
I have balls ready. In the hallway. No, that's Sonic on my side. Get back, Sonic.
I'll get you next time. Glad to help. Thanks.
I'm not on drugs is dead. Let me know if there's anyone. Oh!
My time to shine.
Let me know if there's anyone that that shows up at point.
Yeah.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
The door's in the hallway. They don't want to come in the hallway. They see the web. There's a Jeff near me. Fuck.
Aw,
Nice, the Jeff died.
Keep an eye here. Lights out.
Enemy approaches.
Glory's all yours.
Thanks.
You're not getting away from me, Psylocke.
Oh, I got off point. That's my mistake.
Against the world.
I mean, you're fine. You can step off for a second as long as everybody else is here.
Us against the world.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner. My time to shine.
No, I'm getting kidnapped.
I don't know how she caught or he caught you.
I was just in the middle of it. I gotta get
I'm
out.
dead. Fucking A. The Jeff came back. That was bad. I should have expected that our teammate wouldn't finish off Jeff. He isn't on drugs if he's dead. True. I think. Our players are already balls of anger and hatred. What's a little more? Yeah, it's funny because I saw people like claiming like that they're killing League, and it's like
But they just don't know.
they're not, because everyone's still gonna keep playing that game. Those players are hopelessly addicted. Like in the same way that like there's still people that like even before that adjustment that Overwatch had here recently that they announced, they're still like glazing Overwatch and being like, oh, it's so much of a better game than Rivals. And it's like, guys, Overwatch has kind of been dead for a long time. Like there's still people playing it, but it really like wasn't doing well, right? It needed some changes, and that's why a little bit I think people are super optimistic now after that announcement for season 15, which to me, I don't think it's actually going to have that big of a deal, but we'll see. I think at least for the Overwatch community, they're going to appreciate it.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
If we save all timelines, perhaps I can finally return to my own.
Jeff.
Oh my god, someone please kill the fucking Jeff.
That one was on the...
I tried, I threw one his way.
Yeah.
Looks like the mission area is
Oh, I'm out the Jeff is annoying. Oh, fuck.
I don't like my Adam. It's the problem with Adam is you feel like you're solo healing a lot.
I'm back to shed some light.
So it's like, I don't know if he was just out of healing was what happened, or like he just chose not to heal his co-healer. I hope it was the former, because if it was the latter, that's just a really bad Adam.
Fuck.
So it looks like they got a Namor now.
Watch me go! Just in time. Thanks. Glad to help.
At least I got the Wolverine's always. Let's go. Whales.
My time to shine.
I'm dead to Jeff, because Jeff's fucking ult has way too much height. Way too much. Even with 10 meters, it's too much. I've seen like a Jeff swallow somebody literally like up here, right? Like at the top of that pillar. And it's like, that's just freaking ridiculous. And I knew it. The second I came out of it, I had to... I guess I didn't have to cloak, but I cloaked to get away from Namor.
Your team's capture progress is past the halfway point.
Hey, come on, Jeff. Come on, you little shit.
Firing up. Watch out.
Come on, Jeff, get into my mind.
My time to shine with you.
Oh, fuck. The Wolverine.
Enemy tagged. Follow them.
Oh my god, dude.
You owe me one. My time to shine. Control these.
See, like, I'm tired of everybody trying to ult me, too. And it's partially because they don't care about the Atom. They know that if they kill me, the entire team crumples. It's like, Atom kind of needs an adjustment.
Dude, I keep getting hard fucked by the Wolverine.
I don't know how I got here, but it's working.
Just in time. Thanks.
Lights out. Suffering the darkness.
The only squid I want is an appetizer. Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Dude, I can't do anything. Like, the whole fucking team just fights away from me. It's like I'm trying to heal from a safe location, and I'm just getting killed by fucking Namor squids.
I can't even get on point, man.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like, oh, we made an adjustment, and then we were fine, and then they adjusted to our adjustment, and then we lost again. So, it happens. You cloaked there? I know. Like there was nothing I could do. I was just trying to stall for time at that point. Yeah. Honestly, I could have healed way better, but it became difficult with, like, kind of how much I was getting targeted. So, it is what it is. DPS Jeff went kind of crazy, not gonna lie. DPS Jeff was kind of crazy. And still managed to heal 8k. Is your name Jeff or is your name Bob? I'm gonna give it to the people that I felt like actually made a difference there. I don't feel like the Psylocke or the Atom did. Like, I think part of that is, like, I literally had to switch which healer I was using because we had problems.
Who's Yakumo?
Yakumo is Yakumo.
Wait, like someone. What? I'm so confused.
See? That's a me.
Oh, it's Mario.
Yeah.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging.
I'm not the type who fades
do I do
quietly
it?
into the background.
Do I do it? I'll attempt to do it. I trust you guys more than I trust randoms. Oh, we're going full spider team?
God damn it, no. You know what? I'll play Penny.
You already are.
Selected it. You selected it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the one looking for 19 inches.
No, I'm not. That's a Spider-Man.
Cosmic rays didn't make me who I am today. My family did.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready. Snow, the one and only.
Here, I can do that too, Kat.
Can you do this?
Obajan's favorite singer. Wow, didn't expect that.
Which emote is that? Is that the...
That's the Malice one.
The battle starts.
Oh no,
in 5,
put it,
That
put
was
it
like
behind
the...
it.
3,
I don't know which
2,
one.
1. All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Yeah, let's hope I play better than the first game. The first game I was kind of distracted because I was trying to tell that story, and then like my brain just was not freaking working.
God, I got an Iron Man.
Well, guess whose job it is to shoot the Iron Man.
That's it. Oh, no.
The mission area is yours to capture now. Anyone will.
Okay.
That's much better. I'm hurt. Thanks so much. Clearly you needed some help.
I killed the magic.
The mission area is yours.
We got it. Clear the way.
Bye,
Didn't
Loki.
see that coming.
I wish I had landed that earlier.
Systems restored.
Right. Okay, there she is.
Psionic burst.
Oh, she's one.
Getting here could cause massive
Where?
destruction.
Got her.
Psionic surge.
I literally just went and assassinated her in the back. Bye, man. Oh, she got back. Damn.
They have
I don't believe so.
Loki is the problem. He's gonna steal one of our ults. Oh, that's not good. I'm dead. Fuck! I'm literally like, I have to go invisible to not die there, and the Spider-Man screaming for healing. It's like, my choice. Save my ally. And then die. Or live, but my ally dies. And I just keep making the wrong choice of, like, saving my ally. I need to stop doing that and be selfish as the healer.
Oh, there's no one up here. God, fuck, he's almost dead. Thank you.
I'm gonna die again! Jesus! I can't get in there because it's just like shit everywhere. I'm trying to heal you, so again, same deal. I should have just let you die.
Yeah, I was kind of sidelining you too, I know.
No, the problem is me going down means everybody goes down. You going down, it's just an odd set fight that we might be able to win.
What the fuck is the range of that?
It's pretty big. Dude, oh my god! Like, I'm sorry, Bob, but like, I really need somebody to kill the fucking Loki more than anything, because the Loki is who's actually like keeping them all alive. And you can see just how much they fucking swarm me and dive me. Jesus.
Your powers are mine.
There it is. About to get Iron Man ulted.
Maximum pulse.
There it is.
Try to get off the point and stop it from being taken, but this has been a learning experience. It's rough.
I'll fight for my
I'm off right now.
Until we have a winner.
I don't like that I'm the ace, because I've gotten shut down already several times. That's just our DPS. I don't think are doing very hot. Which part of that's like they're not able to like stay alive. I get that, but the other part of that is they need to actually get some kills.
Who wants to see something fantastic?
Because like even I wasn't really getting kills. I think a couple of my kills were from those boops. So.
May the most
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
clear the way.
You know my weapons can still lock on to you even when you're invisible.
So I can install rivals?
We were
Ooh.
supposed to be on the same side, Frank.
You said it finally closed down completely, huh? I think so. I mean, double check on that because I may not be right. But
I'll be sure to remember
if
that.
they didn't close it down completely, they at least like
Battle starts in 5,
they at least said that they're no longer going to develop it. So
1. All you need to do is capture the mission.
I'd like the
area.
Windows 10 doing.
I've seen a lot of stuff.
yeah, so it's like it's not going to receive any new content updates or anything like that, which it kind of makes sense because I think they basically closed it because they probably saw that like, oh, it's not that successful due to rivals.
Feeling fantastic.
Good to go.
Oh my god. Oh. Bob, I'm sorry. You were out of my range.
Mission area is
There's two people on the fight. No, it's all one.
That's okay.
Time magic.
capture the mission area.
Oh my god, dude.
Systems restart.
Bucky's doing a really good job of pillar humping.
Armed and dangerous.
Clear the way.
No, oh my god! Again!
I was gonna
Like,
Yeah.
I literally just wanted to heal you, and I had to reload right at the second you got deathly, like... Oh my...
Vortex field.
Fucking hate Bucky's, dude.
Yeah.
Good Bucky's are so hard to deal with because they just melt you and you don't have a chance to respond.
I'll get you next time. Clearly you needed some help.
Oh, I don't want to be in
She's actually way far away.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Oh, damn it.
Powers of mine.
Clearly you needed some
Iron Man.
Maximum pulse.
I
Dude.
just had him.
Killed their Atom. Damn it, dude. And if it's God, the Loki is 21 and 2.
disappear so easily.
Jesus.
They've almost got it.
I'm surprised we're even this in it at this point. Like,
I'm good to go.
Behold, that child!
I'll just die.
Psionic burst.
You'll have to keep fighting.
Every
until we
fucking
win.
med pack is taken. This is a frustrating one.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
God, yeah, I just 10k healing is just fucking awful. Oh, no wonder, dude. See if there's anyone else. I don't know if anybody else wants to join, but okay, there we go. Ugh. Yeah, I like Rivals. I know I mauled at it a lot, but I like Rivals. Rivals to me is a lot easier to like get into and play decently as opposed to like Overwatch, where I feel like everything requires you to know like meta compositions and stuff.
We are hope and fear.
So he says, no, I really do. I really do enjoy my time in it. What gets frustrating is like, again, like you get like a teammate like the Moon Knight where it's like, I think I saw one Moon Knight ult. He probably used it a second time, but I didn't see it. Like, did you see the Overwatch changes? I did. I was just talking about that. Like, it's funny because like you could say like hero bans were something that had always been desired for Overwatch. Like that's why they're in Rivals, is because it's a hotly like demanded thing. And so them adding it to Overwatch isn't like them copying Rivals necessarily.
Stay strong.
But then when they added a third person mode, that definitely is.
I know all of your songs. It's always an honor to meet a fan.
Should I put my like nest right here where you're at?
Play them on the oldies station
Right
for
where
me.
my thing is.
Wow. For
Alright.
a girl with ice powers, I suddenly feel
And then you can actually like I'd shoot one of your webs like right here, and I'd put mines in it. You got to be using the mines quite a bit
You have to stop them from
because they can't see the mines if they're in a web.
we won't run
So that's
away
actually pretty nice.
Help. So cold.
Yeah. You got a Groot, which will actually work really well for your mines because they're not gonna fucking see them.
For sure. I need some help. I like the cold.
They're trying to go up top left, I think.
Oh, behind us, Salak.
Thanks so much.
They got a Jeff too. They're triple support.
And a
Wait,
rocket.
they walled your fucking net?
Yeah. Actually, this is
You just place it and it immediately destroys, but you can immediately place it again.
Oh my god, dude. I got Psylocke on my booty butt cheek.
Getting hurt.
I can't do anything on that.
See that? Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
That's better.
I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like I can push up at all. Like,
Dagger's back.
Khonshu's avatar is here. What group of heroes would not be strengthened by Thor?
We better test this out. I like it.
Oh my god, stupid walls.
Turn around quick.
what was that?
Barely wounded.
Bro, I can't even get a fucking hit in on this Groot. And then we just keep getting fucking ulted.
Us against the world.
I shouldn't have done that. That's my bad, Yukamo. Okay, I killed their Jeff. Killed their Wanda.
Hurricane incoming.
Double kill.
Killed their Invisible Woman. Come here, Groot.
Let's pop back up under their noses. Lights out.
He's dead. If we can get... no. Leave him, leave him, leave him, leave him.
My time to shine.
Oh my god, Thor, please.
A boom of light. We better test this out.
Oh, where's the top?
I was worried.
Asgard's might.
You owe me one. I appreciate you. Just embrace the
Go
light.
Groot!
Inevitable.
My time to shine.
Inevitably, I have to fucking reload. And it gets the person killed.
Cover from the shadows.
Lost in the immensity of her power.
But part of it's
Better
like...
test this out.
Like, again, like... The frickin', Venom / Thor keeps like way overextending, and then it's like, I'm sorry, I'm already working from behind as you're trying to run back.
A nice deep freeze.
He was trying to ult us.
Yeah.
It's very good that we killed him.
We better test this out.
You have your nest down?
I think it broke.
Get it down. Put
Accidentally
it like
wrong
over
button.
there.
Feel right here.
Okay.
Oh my god. Do the same thing. Like put a net down. Put your mines. Damn it, dude! I can't do anything against that. Yeah, that's... Fuck! I can only protect the team from one ult. Like... And I'm the only one that dies to it, so... God.
They hit a checkpoint.
God damn it.
Now might be a good time to stop them.
Got there just a second too far.
That's fine. If you're having to hold the point on Storm, it's not going good. However, I'm just dead! People!
The light always comes back.
It's now
So I think it was the Thor was supposed to already be back. Oh my god. That Squirrel got deleted. Oh my god, dude. Bob, you the only one. Stay in line of sight. Okay, yeah. Oh my gentle Jesus.
That one hurts. My time to shine. I like the cold. I appreciate you.
I'm not giving them this. Not for free.
Look out behind you.
Dark Force doesn't write happy endings. Help us from the shadows. Appreciate the boost.
You need me. My time to shine. There's a lot we could destroy around here. Never nice seeing a tree fall.
God. Like, it's weird because it's like I get that split second when I ult to go on offense finally, and then I murder them. I can't explain it.
You stop them in their tracks.
Jeff on the left.
Oh, you can't. They're going to ult rebound us. Oh, damn it. Nice. That was actually clutch because I'm not sure my cloak would have saved everyone.
You're doing over there, Jeff.
Lights out.
Get fucked. Get fucked, you shit ass little fuck. So I cloaked everyone there that was in his ult so he didn't get anyone.
I was worried. Whoever they are, they don't look friendly. I like the cold.
Oh, that's bad. Thank you.
Yep.
Wanda above you. I can't heal you, you're walled off.
By the up.
No! Oh! I have my ult, but you guys should be able to save that for right now. Or not? What?
Okay. I got it.
Okay,
My
good.
time to shine.
I ulted just in time.
I guess both of us healers done. Portal.
Yep.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Just embrace the light. I appreciate you.
That Squirrel Girl ult's just cleaning them out.
Final 10 seconds. My time to shine. Hold still. I'm trying to help. Us against the world.
I was sitting on that on purpose in case we needed it.
For some reason, I'm just really good at holding that corner.
The Squirrel Girl wasn't doing that good until we got to the final stretch there, and she just got her ult fucking annihilated their entire team like 3 times.
Because it's more powerful the tighter
Yeah,
the
it just kept ping ponging in there, and it was like die. Well, I still think the Thor just basically, like, I guess he got a bunch of kills, but so like prior to that last, like, I'd say minute, he was 5 and 5. Like he was just really just kind of overextending and dying for no
When we
real
got
benefit.
to that, when we got to that last corner.
Yeah. So were they just like shooting you down with like Wanda, basically?
No, it was freaking Psylocke.
Yeah, I guess.
So the second part of her shit
You'll need a
is
top-notch
hits.
team to win this one.
Like, you probably would have been fine had we been able to, like, get away, but we were up against that second point for so long, and you couldn't, like, back off anywhere. So I could see how that'd be really rough. I would have maybe tried to, like, stay as much in the tunnel there to the left as I could and tried to, like, poke, but it still wouldn't have been good no matter what you did. You really dolphined him, huh? Yeah, it's like... You want to be a part of the freak-off? Oh god, so something tells me it's an Iron Man.
Before we had powers, we had each other. That bond is unbreakable.
I don't know if I can get up
30
there.
seconds
Yeah, I
before you
can.
attack. Get ready.
Let's see.
Magic, so your portals take you to another dimension too, yeah? Does it, like, hurt or anything like that?
Emotionally, anyway. Bad memories.
Spider-Man.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
And Iron Man. He's right outside, straight out. Spider-Man's on top, too.
destination.
Can't see him.
He flipped back. The Iron Man we need down now. Oh, you're very lucky, Bernie.
Yeah.
I blew up the mine right before.
Oh, that magic just killed the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, did you die, Bernard? Okay, no.
No, I just went invisible.
You got in the pick. Another Loki game. Oh my god, so many freaking mines.
Dude, that Iron Man's just in the fucking hallway. And he's just in the back, lying spiders.
It's okay, we got Loki. He's the actual problem. And I just absolutely meta-gamed the shit out of Invisible Woman.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mr. Fister.
Nope.
He's dead. Got him.
I almost wasted an ult for that.
He should have stayed on me. Like, he would have done better. He still would have died, but he'd have done better. I'm not going in there. That's a fucking pain train with magic. Careful, Loki ult. I'm getting away from that. Wait, did he? I guess he missed.
Oh, let's go in the bushes. Please don't see me.
These little robots may be a problem.
Feeling fantastic.
Shields up!
Lights out.
Nice. At least got the
Loki in
penny.
the back.
Helping from the shadows.
Nice try, Thor. I'm gonna let you get to that health pack.
Yeah.
Is that our Mr. Fantastic? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Fan Foreskin? What the fuck? Oh, Forkskin. Never mind. That doesn't sound that bad.
Wait, wasn't that one of the people we played with one time ago?
My time to shine. Almost there.
We're getting flanked. Thor and
Bye, Thor.
Now I see them.
Let's pop back up under their noses.
Much better.
Bye, idiot. You know,
Where you at?
it's
I
kind
know
of
you're
getting
busy.
gangbanged by like 3 people, so it's kind
I'm doing what I could with.
I know. That was just I had to kind of focus on me at that moment. Someone to the right. I think it's an invisible woman. Oh,
Yeah.
no, Thor.
We got a shield, Tandy.
That's one watch.
Damn. Okay. Well, at least he only got me. That's kind of like, he's gonna kill someone when he ults like that, so the fact that he only got the one is actually really good of us.
Oh, he got me. The magic got me.
Oh my god, what are you taking so much damage from? What the shit?
The magic, imp.
Oh, yeah, don't stay. Bro, you're not working at all. Like, I don't know why he's keeping it up. Thor in the back line. I got live tanks. Get my ult.
Yeah, I'm in your ult.
Who am I? Invisible?
Scar Witch is going to get in.
Okay, Darkchild's dead.
Now we really have to attack. Feeling fantastic.
Behold
Oh my
the
god.
god of thunder!
My time to shine.
He really shouldn't be able to block all forms of damage.
Yeah, Loki's too strong. I see,
Loki,
like, nobody wants to say it, but Loki is actually, like, the strongest in the game if you play him right. There's not really a counter to him other than, again, like, playing Bucky, basically. It's just not really a counter.
Feeling fantastic.
A flow of light. Just in time. Thanks. Thank you so much, guys. We got one faster.
Gotta get some picks. This is getting fucking ridiculous.
Your powers are mine!
Do you have ult bomb?
Yep.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Let me know when you go to use it.
Feeling fantastic.
Looking for a good opportunity.
I mean, they're kind of in a choke, so if you can sneak back to the left behind them.
I got you.
God, thank you. Oh, did you get blocked by the wall?
Yep.
God fucking damn it.
Us against the world. It's
Okay, Thor's dead.
Tiny's dead. Let's go.
Let's pop back up under their noses.
Mr. Fister's on me. There you go. And keep killing Loki clones and stuff because they are absolutely how he's like managing to pop off.
The god of thunder!
Oh, no, I got to the door.
Yeah.
Fate of this realm depends on our success.
I saw.
Idiot. he got Olayed. And unfortunately for Loki clones don't count for stalling the point.
Which is why I'm also upset he can be on the...
GG, no heals from Loki! I mean, to be fair, right? Like, they're not wrong, but also that's not really what Loki's supposed to do. Like, meanwhile, look at how much healing our team had to put out just to counter them. Like, their team didn't even die that much, other than the Mr. Fister.
No wonder Owen disowned you. Damn.
Wait. I don't think the Thor realizes how many times the Loki actually saved him.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Like that Thor's just an idiot. Because if not for the freaking Loki lamps, like, they would have just been done. Wait, what did someone say there at the end? Can't see it anymore.
I typically don't pay attention to the villain. I'm not judging. We are cloaked.
Good game, well played. Okay, he's actually nice. Like, I honestly don't mind when people are actually like really like respectful and nice when they lose. Like, that's fine. I won't talk shit on those people. I will talk shit on people that like constantly dive. So like you guys saw, I was tempted to say who actually threw was your Mr. Fister that just kept feeding, so that it was constantly a 6v5.
Mr. Fister usually got a kill whenever he dove in.
No, he didn't. Like, he did get a kill some, Bob. But I don't think you realized how many times he tried to dive specifically me, and how many times he got immediately killed because of it. Like, he had 12 deaths to the rest of their team's, like, 6. And I think he went, like, 7 and 12.
Sad way to see the world.
Wait, what? What did they say? I've never played
I
Hulk
think
for
something
Iron
about
Team
Hulk
Up.
and, yeah.
Jump every now and then. Yeah, it's basically just like only go in with your shield up, Yakamo. Oh wait, it's not Yakamo who's playing it.
Got it?
Underneath my caustic exterior, I'm still pretty caustic.
I was gonna say, actually, Spencer shouldn't be playing Moon Knight. He should be playing Storm alongside your Iron Man. And then you guys would both get the team up.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Oh Jesus, I'm sorry, Bob. Iron Man's blind. I am dead because I got yoinked by the Bucky. That some. Okay, so they have a rocket. I was gonna say, I don't know how Bucky was back because I literally saw Yakamo kill him.
Good trouble. They captured the mission area.
I gotta stop playing aggressive as a healer.
You kind of have to a little bit as Invisible Woman, but yeah, just, like, there's a time to do it and a time not, and being good on Invisible Woman is knowing
What they have.
Oh my god. I mean, flyers aren't bad because Groot, but...
Oh, they have a better Iron Man than me because I'll play it. And a Star Wars.
Oh, that's not good. I would like to have killed the guy. Oh, you did get him. Hey, there you go. Now you guys got it. Rocket's up top. Oh, nice. Nice yoink, Bob. Oh, no, Bob! Bob, no!
Yeah, that's what happened.
Thankfully. No. Hulk, what are you doing? Why did you get off point?
Us against the world.
The... Like him?
I don't see him. I can't get to you.
Yeah, both the Groot and the Star-Lord were up top on our side.
Bro!
Seriously, a solo Groot ult for me?
It wasn't solo, it was for me. And he got me. I was behind you. But I tried to cloak us through it so that we'd avoid it. And it still got me halfway through the cloak.
Control lost.
Fuck.
Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
At this rate, they're probably gonna win, but oh my god, dude. Fucking group roll. Oh my god. He's running. They're triple DPS.
My time to shine.
Oh my god, it worked! It worked! I killed him! I'm pretty sure the Hulk helped there, but holy shit! He didn't kill me, let's go!
Armed and dangerous. Again.
My time to shine. Disappear.
You got ult? Woo!
I do not.
Let's keep fighting.
I'm gonna die before I can get to mine. No! Bro! The fucking Groot ult! He got it back before I got to my ult.
The moon haunts you.
Dude, our Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight is shit.
I think it might be better to let Bob tank and let Yakamo.
There's always a spark of light in darkness.
I don't know at
Wait,
this
are we on
point.
throne room? Actually, Bob, do you wanna be healer and I be tank?
I just know Bob's having a hard time, so.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Well, I mean, I think Yakamo's primary role is damage. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I have an opinion.
The battle is joined. Can't let the monster out at the wrong time.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Burning
Got it?
went tank. No.
Whatever
Wait.
happened to you,
Okay, Yakamo went
I am
damage.
going to help fix it.
I'm so confused. And now we don't have a Thor.
There, ahead. I found them.
We better test this out.
Alright, we're there.
Not too many
My place for the mission area is yours to capture now.
This is real firepower!
I just. Ah! The whole team left! I can see Hulk bouncing around in the background, just not doing anything.
To shed some light.
God fucking damn it, dude! Like, if I had managed to get away there, I would have been fine and could have regrouped with the team, but I literally got dove by 2 people. Yeah, I think he actually needs to play Thor, not Hulk. Oh my god! I can't do anything!
The Star-Lord's just wrecking.
That's 3.
We need to go to the right side instead of the left.
Capture progress has passed the halfway point.
And I'll go, but you guys gotta come. Oh my god! Yakamo!
Double up. The Groot is on the right.
Spider mode.
Armed and dangerous. This is real firepower!
Everybody needs a boom of light.
very burning.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I thought I can get enough healing for my ult.
Double kill. Time to shine.
Oh, the rocket run. That's fine. Kill that. That is way overextended. Dead.
Maximum pulse!
Yeah, he missed, but I can't stay on point any longer. Again, I don't know why I'm the only one on point. Because now we only have one tank. Bro. This fucking Hulk basically threw by hot swapping and not doing the freaking thing that he originally was supposed to do. Like, he was going to switch to Thor and then didn't.
We just got outclassed.
Mishcad would mauled like this when he's having terrible rolls. Yeah, it's wild. I don't know why I mauled so hard in like shooters compared to stuff like that. It's really weird. Well, chat, I hate to end it on a defeat, but this is probably where we gotta end it. Yeah, I felt like that was winnable, at least. So that's like, I usually mauled harder when it's winnable. I don't really mauled that hard when we're getting our butts kicked, because I'm just like, I can't believe this is happening. It's frustrating when stuff happens individually to you, but like, meh. Chat, let me see who's on.
I mean, it's near those blame Andre.
I see a Mr. Kaito Kuma, who I believe is drawing Hopes and Dreams. Go give him some love and ask him if he's working on my commission. And which I'm sure he's not. And we'll be back probably tomorrow, like I said. I gotta work tomorrow, so I don't know what time I'll be live. Maybe earlier than normal, but we'll see. It'll just depend on what I feel like and what I gotta get done tomorrow. So thank you guys for staying all the way till the end of stream. If you guys haven't, check me out on the main YouTube channel as well as my alternate channel, CAD Plays, which is where we store all the VODs. Definitely go give me a sub there. Would appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs on that channel so that we can monetize it. And yeah, that'll be it. Again, if I don't get to see you guys, hope you guys have a good weekend. We do have D&D on Sunday, so I will see you guys then. And again, have a good one.